This time,
I'm catching up with favourites Jamie Lea and Curtis. They couldn't agree whether to love or list their terraced home. That seems like decades ago.
this tale began in 2019 and had more twists than a cat has lives.
I think we could have our dream house, so we're listing it.
Time will tell.
Phil and I were both kept on our toes.
There are 5 different walls you could knock down. Obviously not all of them, because then the house would fall down.
By possibly the canniest couple we've ever worked with.
They were certainly straight shooters.
It's quite small.
And it wasn't just the grown-ups making their displeasure clear.
Even Maverick can't stand it.
There were surprises at every turn.
So, what have you done? Oh, my word, what have you done?
So I shouldn't be shocked that now the family are rolling the dice on another new adventure.
Bravery has got to be in the top 3 words I'd use to describe you two.
Or crazy.
The location for this 2019 story was Albrighton, in the beautiful county of Shropshire.
It is actually world famous for its rose gardens.
Oh, here we go.
One
Here we
of
go.
the most beautiful and fragrant rose gardens in all of the world.
Oh, here we are, Phil's facts.
Well, there's so much so. I actually bought you a present.
You did not. Oh my God, you got me some roses.
I got you some roses.
Those smell absolutely delicious.
Delicious? Are you planning on eating them?
And here I was thinking you were going to be nice to me today.
20-somethings Curtis and Jamie Lea and their daughter Scarlett were about to welcome a new addition to their family. But while their 3-bed terrace appeared like the perfect home, inside a disagreement had reached crisis point. Even Peanut the cat had had enough.
Got a baby on the way. The house is how we want it, bar the kitchen, an open plan. So I do not want to move.
I do.
After buying this house 2 years ago as a doer-upper, Curtis and Jamie Lea rolled up their sleeves, gutted it and renovated it. Now Jamie Lea is adamant that this is their forever family home. But fed up at the lack of open-plan space, Curtis is ready to move on.
This house isn't perfect for us at the minute. It's lots of small rooms and we're always separate. The internal layout is just not ideal. I think we could have our dream house that's going to give us everything we want. So we're listing it.
Time will tell.
And with baby number 2 about to make an imminent appearance, the timing isn't ideal.
The baby's due in
Can you remember now?
4 weeks.
5 weeks.
4 weeks tomorrow.
No, 5 weeks today.
Rookie error there, Curtis. That's really not going to help your cause. Especially as Jamie Lea has reinforcements nearby.
My family's round the corner. My sister's literally 5 minutes that way. My mum's 5 minutes that way.
It's very handy childcare for Scarlett while Jamie Lea studies for her psychology degree. Another reason why she has no intention of going anywhere.
All I really want is just a nice big kitchen with storage, because we have no storage in the kitchen. And I'm a bit concerned about where we're going to put all the baby's bottles, to be honest.
I think for me that when we've done all the work, I don't think the house will still fit what we need. I still don't think it'll be big enough for
Oh,
me.
we're trying to mansion.
Let the man dream, Jamie Lea. Surrounded by activity in his day job as a gym manager, Curtis is fed up being left on his own when he gets home, thanks to a dysfunctional layout that's keeping the family apart.
My mind is set definitely on moving. It has been for a while. I think it's time to benefit now from all the hard work we've put in. I'd like to just move a little bit more rural now.
You all right, buddy?
So we'll have 2 kids, and then we want more in the future. I don't want to move, I don't want it to be 5 or 10 years. I think we should do it now.
This young family's hopes are in our hands.
I'm sure I can find them the perfect place to live out their dreams.
Not if I can give them everything they want first.
Righto. That looks like quite a nice big house. Hello. How do you do?
Oh, sorry.
Right. Oh!
Just lock the door.
We've knocked ourselves out.
We actually have knocked ourselves out. We can't open it from this side.
What are we going to do?
We'll go round. Let's go round the back.
Is it open round the back?
Yeah, round the back open, yeah.
Otherwise,
You better lead the way. Lovely to meet you and knock you out of your house.
Yeah, fantastic.
I hope that's not a bad omen, Phil.
It's clearly a sign that they should be leaving their home for good.
Who wants to love? Who wants to list?
I want to list it.
And I want to love it.
You bought it because you loved it.
Well, we didn't actually like it, did we? It was just
not
like...
really. We bought it.
It was just the cheapest one that we could afford.
Yeah.
You've done it up, it's done its job, it's made some money, and now it's time to go.
Yeah. When Jamie sees my vision of living in the countryside, I think she'll...
Oh, what's this? What's this? What's this? What's this? Countryside?
Yeah.
No one said anything about countryside.
So, a village in Shropshire, like a semi-rural...
Curtis,
Yeah.
just remind me, where's Scarlett right now?
Nannies.
She is. And how far is
Yeah.
Nanny's?
2-minute walk.
2-minute walk.
Yeah. But what I would love to do for
Why
Nanny
would you
is to have
move
a
away
little...
from that, Curtis?
Curtis just wants the best life he can imagine for his family, Kirstie.
What would it take for me to show you in order to convince you to move that Curtis was right?
I think it would have to be not too far. It would definitely have to be more bedrooms. I just have to be, like, perfect inside, like, no work to be done. But I don't think we'll find that in our budget. So close.
Good luck with that, Phil.
very neat and tidy. It's not decluttering they need to do, that's for sure.
No?
This is a nice sitting room.
Well, this is a nice dining room. It's a very generous dining room.
I think all you'd want to do is knock down that wall.
Which one?
That's the tricky bit. Any of these internal walls could go to make this space more open plan.
I'm going to take a quick squiz upstairs.
OK, I'm not even going to look upstairs. Upstairs is not...
She doesn't care.
It's not that I don't care, it's just that it's not what it's about.
It's about giving this family more space inside and out for their future, and that lies elsewhere.
That's where you're wrong, Phil, because while you're battling to find a perfect property minutes from Jamie Lee's mum, I'll be creating one right here with a family-friendly, open-plan space that will be ideal for them right now. With the house currently worth around £192,000, Jamie Lea and Curtis have given me a love-it budget of £30,000. Spending more than that would risk going over the ceiling price of the street.
It's a really sweet house. It does its job. And maybe that's what Curtis is feeling, is it has done its job. And now he's keen to get on and move to the next.
It may not be an easy task, but armed with a listed budget of £280,000, I'm going to try and stretch it far enough to fulfil Curtis's dreams and convince Jamie Lea that it's worth moving.
If you manage all that, it will cost Jamie Lea and Curtis £3,500 in stamp duty and just over £4,500 in moving and legal costs, giving a total of around £8,000.
It's a question of timing. I think if they want a big family, they're not going to be able to have a big family here. So there will be a move at some point.
Yeah. But I just think the move isn't going to come now.
Curtis seems being charged, man of action. Not sure he's going to win that debate, but I'm going to do my best to help him.
You've got it wrong, Phil. Jamie Lee's the one in charge and she's not going anywhere, especially if I can help it. But you knock yourself out.
Could you just spell out to me what I should go looking for?
Yeah, so what I think we should have is a 3 or 4 bedroom house, hopefully 4, in like a semi-rural area, but also not too far away from where we currently are.
I'm not really sure I'm going to get that for our budget at the minute.
Well, I'm not going to pretend it's going to be easy, but if I find it, will you give it due consideration?
I'll consider it, yeah.
That was a no, wasn't it? That was a firm no.
And that's to stay here, Phil.
Right, okie doke.
Well, there we have it. The brief is set. The die is cast. I mean, I can find what they're looking for, but I can't move Jamie's family.
Feeling excited to get the house done and win you over.
I'm excited to see the plans. I don't know if they're going to be enough to convince me, but I'm excited to see them.
I think you've got it as easy as ever.
Yeah, no, I think I have, because they aren't going anywhere. And that is your problem.
This debate has been going on for about a year now.
He constantly looks at
As
houses.
soon
I'm
as
like,
we
why
bought-
are you
as
looking?
soon
We're
as
not
we bought this
moving.
house, I was well, when we done it up, I was already thinking, wow, like our house is now worth this much. We could buy this.
Back in 2019 in Albrighton, it was stalemate in Shropshire. Gym manager Curtis and student Jamie Lea couldn't agree where to lay down roots to grow their young family. This 3-bed terrace round the corner from Jamie Lee's mum, or Curtis's dream of a big house in the country.
Curtis,
Yeah.
how far is Nanny's?
A 2-minute walk.
2-minute walk.
Yeah. But what I would love to do for
Why
Nanny
would
is
you
to
move
have a
away
little...
from that, Curtis?
I needed to go all out to transform their terraced house into the perfect practical solution for Curtis and Jamie Lee's expanding brood.
The question is, do we knock down this wall and rebuild a conservatory and have a kitchen extension there? Or do we just knock down this wall and have a bigger kitchen with that as the sitting room? There are, I kid you not, about 5 different walls you could knock down. Obviously not all of them, because then the house would fall down.
Now that's a plan Team Listic could get on board with.
Sadly for you, Phil, my £30,000 Love It budget will be spent making this house so spectacular that Curtis will be desperate to stay. When I've decided what the plan is, that is.
Sometimes when I do this, I'm like, absolutely, this is what you must do. I'm just saying, okay, I'm a bit unsure.
My newly formed master plan will remove the wall at the back of the house to open into a new extension, giving Curtis the big family kitchen he is longing for. Plus, there's space for a new utility room and loo.
I think this room will be a big enough kitchen diner for me to be able to have, you know, like groups, you know, all the family together. I'm just worried that this will not actually
How
be that
often
big.
do you have all the family together?
Probably
Every week.
every week, pretty much. I'd say we have a
Either your
probably-
family or my family.
yeah, like 10 or 12 here.
I'm going to rub out all my things.
To give them even more open-plan living space, the wall into the dining room could be removed, creating one huge area running front to back of the house and into the extension. Perfect for entertaining. The living room would stay intact with one door blocked off to make it more private, creating a separate space where children can play during the day and grown-ups can relax in the evening.
What you've got here is a lot of floor space.
I like that idea, yeah.
We'll be together, we'll have more room. Be nice and light, I think it'll be great.
Curtis definitely has some quite grand ideas, but we're going to crack it and they'll stay.
Well, I know the answer to that. Never mind a brand new kitchen, I can offer you a brand new house, as we're off to look at the first property I've lined up. And for a bit of extra help, Curtis and I have brought along reinforcements. New addition to the family, baby Maverick, born 6 weeks ago.
So today we're going to try and find a countryside setting, but retain some access to family and convenience, because you want to be able to walk to shops and neighbours and that kind of thing.
I'm taking them to Shifnal, a charming country town in the heart of Shropshire that's surrounded by farmland, but only 10 minutes from Jamie Lee's family. To find a 4-bed house with amenities close by, I'm taking them to a stylish new-built house in a development that's right on the edge of the town and has countryside not quite on the doorstep, but within a short walk. Jamie Lea and Curtis get a quick first look, whilst Maverick's sleeping in the car just a few metres away.
It's a detached house.
Yeah, we
built
like that.
2 years ago,
Yeah.
parking for 2 plus garage. I thought it was right up our street.
Well, it's a
It's
good-looking
pretty.
house.
Yeah,
it's a
nice,
pretty house, yeah.
It's nice.
Well, let's get Maverick and we'll have a look round.
Yeah, perfect.
Within budget at just under 280 grand, this high-spec and attractively designed 3-storey family home has the 4 bedrooms Jamie Lea wants. 2 of them with en-suites, plus a family bathroom. Meanwhile, downstairs, there's an elegant living room, but it's the family-sized open-plan dining kitchen overlooking the garden that really sells the house.
Let's go through to the back.
Yeah.
I mean, your issue at home is you're unable to cook and
Yeah.
do adult things whilst watching over children who are eating or drawing.
Yeah. Yeah, no, true, definitely. But I still think it's safe. We had our friends and that round.
Yeah, it's quite small.
I was hoping for a better reaction, I must say, because I thought it was a lovely room.
And I know Jamie's going to want something really special. Not even in finish or quality, because that can all come, we can all do that, but something that's like, wow, look at this space.
Yeah.
I've got more work to do than I thought.
Oh dear, the kitchen and the immaculate finish here isn't selling it to them. And outside, the attractive garden is designed perhaps more with adults in mind. But the upstairs has all the space these guys want to grow their family, with 2 en-suites and 4 bedrooms, including a spacious master.
That's nice.
It's nice, isn't it?
I like this. I can see all the neighbours there.
Yeah. If that was a field.
Well, I can hear Maverick.
Yeah.
Pretty cool up here, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a nice room. The room's lovely, isn't it? It's just that view, Phil. That's just like...
Yes, we overlooked.
Even Maverick can't stand it.
Leave it with me. I'll get back to work. Well, it's clear that they're not going to accept anything that's overlooked, but more importantly, I've learnt that Jamie really anticipates that their kitchen diner at home is going to be spectacular. So I've got to lift my game.
No change there, Phil. Meanwhile, in Albrighton, after just over 6 weeks of deliberation and coping with the arrival of newborn baby Maverick, Curtis and Jamie Lea are full steam ahead with my plan. They've chosen the option to knock all the way through from front to back internally and are creating a stunning open-plan kitchen diner that will be around a whopping 31 metres squared.
You can see how big it's going to be.
Yeah.
See, we weren't quite sure, but it actually looks like massive.
The extension will stretch their budget, but the guys will try and keep costs down as much as possible by sourcing materials themselves, as well as doing the painting and decorating.
I think no doubt this house is going to look lovely when it's done, you know, but it's still not going to give us everything that I want.
So true, Curtis. Let's get back to viewing houses that will give you everything you're looking for. Given licence by Jamie Lea to look a little bit further afield, I'm taking them deeper into the countryside to High Arkle, an attractive village with a school and local shop. It has a lovely rural setting and is only 20 minutes from Curtis's work, but it is a 30-minute drive to Jamie Lea's family in Albrighton.
So we have here a nice, big, detached house. It is a bit of a project, so...
Another one?
But I promise you, this is a very large and very exciting opportunity.
Looks awesome, yeah. I love it straight away.
It looks quite big.
It certainly is, Jamie Lea. If space was lacking in the first house that I showed them, this one has it in spades. In budget at $279,000 and on a quiet road just yards from farmland, this 1970s extended 4-bedroom house not only occupies a huge plot outside, inside there's 4 generous double bedrooms and 2 bathrooms, plus a kitchen with potential to extend.
This is, I think, where you start to see and appreciate the kind of space that the house offers.
Yeah?
This living room is just under double your existing living room.
Yeah, it's a hell of a lot bigger than ours, definitely.
It's not just the living room that offers more space for the large family gatherings they love to host. The current kitchen could be knocked through to a ground floor bedroom, giving them a kitchen diner to completely eclipse the one they're creating back home.
This house is 85% larger than your house will be when you've finished it.
That's crazy,
That
isn't
is
it?
mad.
Yeah, it is.
The extra space carries on outside to a huge garden.
Wow, that's nice size, isn't it, Jim?
It's big, yeah.
It's huge.
Yeah?
It's not too overlooked, I don't think.
No, it's not, no. This is just fine.
I know the idea of extra work is less than appealing, Jamie, at the moment. I get that, I understand that. But you've got to see the potential here.
Oh, yeah, it's a great house. Just whether or not we can do it up or not.
Why
It's
not?
so stressful. I just don't know if I want to do it again.
These guys are no strangers to hard work. And upstairs, whilst the bathroom might need replacing, the 4 bedrooms are all good sizes and only need a fresh coat of paint.
It's just too daunting.
Yeah, but it's just a space, isn't it? The potential's massive. Be a beautiful house once it's done.
It would.
So there you have it. Absolute belter, I reckon.
Yeah?
What about you?
No, it's a lovely house. Big size. My only problem is the work, that's it.
I mean, by Christmas, we could have a dream home.
Dream home forever.
Yeah.
As well. This is the long-term play. I mean, I can take you on to something that has less work, but you're going to make all the compromises.
Yeah. We can't have it all, can we?
This house is amazing, though, isn't it? The size. Come on, Jim, think.
It is amazing.
You can
I
do
cannot
it.
be bothered to do all the work again and look after 2 children and do university work. It's too much.
Mess with Jamie Lee's Love It Dreams at your peril, Curtis. 8 weeks after my first visit, I'm returning to catch up with these lovebirds at loggerheads.
Work has been getting going. Look, da-da-da-da-dum. I'm suitably dressed for a building site, as ever. I love this bit. So full of new possibilities. We're all very into these kind of multifunctional rooms and open plan space, but if you put too much stuff in it and you make it too complicated, it stops being open plan. So my job here today is to try and persuade Kirstie and Jamie to keep this space purer. So it's lovely to be standing here.
Yeah.
It's a lovely sunny space. It accesses the garden. So imagine you've got family coming round. You don't want to move to the back of the house.
Yeah.
You still want to have access to the garden. I just wanted to imagine a big table here.
Yeah.
Right. Jamie, 200 minimum.
Yeah.
And 80 width. OK, Kirstie, you go at the other end.
OK.
We want the table 200
That's a bit
between.
small, but-
So this is the 4 legs of the table.
OK, yeah.
We're using scaffolding planks to mock up a table, but actually we could use them to make it. Chunky wood like this can turn a simple dining table into a statement piece of furniture and could be a project for Curtis.
Do you know what I like about it as well? That, like, it's not going to cost that much money, is it?
No,
You know?
it's not going to cost that much.
And,
But it's going to be a real dining room.
When people come round...
They're going to be in the back.
Yeah, I don't want to shove them in the back, in the dark part.
No.
Surely we want to be here.
I think you can have that and still have what we wanted as well.
Yeah.
And then you've got a bit more space at the front.
That means you could have more kitchen and you could have a sofa in that bay window.
Curtis's boundless energy and enthusiasm for this project makes me think he's joining Team Love It.
Well, I've got one more try to convince the couple listing it is the right road for them. I think I've found a real stunner 23 miles from home in the historic and charming country town of Market Drayton.
So, gang, coming here, you get a semi-detached house. There is no work, so it's unpack your bags, get back to the kids, no hassle, no problems. The rub is that it's only got 3 bedrooms. So that's the kind of compromise, if you like, that we're looking to explore here.
I think the location works quite well. A bit further away.
yeah.
Looks nice on the outside,
Yeah.
doesn't it? Yeah.
On the edge of town and close to countryside, this attractive traditional 30s semi is even better on the inside. Under budget and beautifully decorated throughout, it has 3 bedrooms and a stylish lounge. But it's the huge open-plan kitchen diner that's the real showstopper.
Well, this is nice, isn't it?
This is really nice.
Oh, this is lovely. Yeah, yeah.
It's got room for dining, it's got the island that you were hoping for, it's got doors straight out into the garden you wanted.
Yeah.
I think it's really kind of chic.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
It's nice, yeah. It's a lovely garden, Jamie.
It's actually really
nice, isn't it?
big, yeah.
Yeah.
You can ride a bike, have a rabbit, kick a football,
Yeah.
entertain your friends, roll about, you know.
Yeah, it's just perfect. This is exactly like what I imagined, really, as like a family garden. It's lovely.
The garden is really nice, but I've got to see the rest of the house first and see if I like that, because I'm not going to buy based on the garden.
Fair point. Crack on.
OK.
Have an explore.
Wait until Jamie Lea sees all the lovely period features upstairs in the 3 bedrooms. I think she could be coming round.
Look at that fireplace.
But in the middle of the night when you need a drink, you're going to stub your toe on that and you know it.
She's got a point, Phil.
It's done nice.
You couldn't grow as a family in this house.
No, it's just the same as ours, really, isn't it?
But the best part about this is the back garden.
I like the back garden.
It's a lovely house. It's nice, isn't it?
It's done nicely, but I think it's just cosmetic that we like. Like the furniture and the way they've styled it. Once you take that away, it's just a normal house that's not really, doesn't seem that much bigger than ours.
It's made me see what we could do to house number 2.
Good.
That's what I think.
Great.
It's back at number
And now
2.
it's up for us to convince Jamie on that.
Yeah.
It's going to take a lot of work.
Please do give that second house a good deal of thought.
Yeah.
Because it's a proper opportunity, that
If
one.
you send me
Yeah.
on holiday for a month and get it all done.
Hey, she's already coming round.
Yeah, there's something there.
That's what we-
We can work with that. It makes you realise how massive house number 2 was. And you're starting to realise, aren't you?
I'm not. We're never on the same,
No.
same page. One of us just nags so much till the other one gives in. That's just how it works.
Yeah. But together we'll make the right decision.
Yeah.
This has been a tough search, but I do feel that of the 3 houses I've shown them, I have demonstrated it's possible to achieve everything. The question is whether they're prepared to take on a project and do another build at this stage in their lives. That I don't know. But in terms of Team List It, I've done all I can.
But will it be enough, Mr. Spencer? Just wait till you see the stunning transformation I'm bringing about back at their home.
8.5 weeks after work began, Kirstie and I are heading to see the finished job and discover who is the victor.
Jamie Lea and Curtis were a fun couple.
I just adore their energy. They are hardworking, they're enthusiastic,
Yeah.
they don't complain, they get on with it,
Yeah.
they dedicate all their time to the kids. I haven't always agreed with Curtis on some of the things he's wanted to do in the house.
Yeah.
But I think, touch wood, I've got my own way over most of it.
You tend to.
But that's not going to happen today, Kirstie. I've got a good feeling for Team List It, because despite all your work, I know you won't have given Curtis and Jamie Lea the extra bedroom or the bigger garden they wanted.
Oh, Phil, dream on. This young family isn't going anywhere.
Got your game face on? All set?
I'm pretty confident about this one, to be honest, Phil.
Yeah, well...
If you live opposite
So
your
am I.
mum and you have small children, you do not move.
Yeah, but if you see a house that's 85% bigger, just saying.
Hello, how are we?
Okay, how are you?
Very well.
And I expect to be even better when Phil sees the downstairs transformation.
So, what have you done? Oh, my word, what have you done?
What haven't these guys done? The old dining room, pokey kitchen and little conservatory have gone. In their place, a stunning open-plan kitchen, living, dining room.
Looks good, doesn't it?
It really does look good.
Yeah.
It really does look good.
The old cluttered conservatory has been replaced with a new extension. And knocking into this space from the dining room and kitchen has created a large sociable space for cooking, relaxing and entertaining friends and family.
It is so different, isn't it?
It's so different, it blows your mind.
Yeah.
I don't think you probably even can remember, Phil.
Well, I was just trying to work out where the old back of the house was.
Yeah, pretty much there, really, yeah.
Yeah, so there was a
that was-
kitchen,
Yeah,
which was a galley
which was a
kitchen.
tiny kitchen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like this.
So you've extended a lot.
Yeah.
The extension has created all the extra living space the guys were desperate for, as well as a utility room and downstairs loo. The sitting room has been beautifully redecorated and is now cleverly linked by an open window space so that Jamie Lea and Curtis can keep an eye on the children whenever it's used as a playroom.
It looks fantastic.
Yeah.
And this blue was a great, great choice.
Yeah.
I don't know who's sounding happier with this. You two or my friend over here?
No.
Because she's certainly pretty happy about it.
Phil, come on. You don't even know the figures involved.
No, I don't. It looks expensive, whatever you've done.
No.
Yeah.
I want to see his face. I'm going to stand there when you tell him.
So we've spent 25 altogether, complete, all done.
What about the extension?
Yeah, that's
it.
everything, yeah.
The whole lot?
£25,000 for the whole thing.
Yeah.
You have done well.
The guys watched every penny and took on a lot of the extra work themselves. They sold the old kitchen for 500 quid and took on board my advice on how to be clever with their new furniture.
And moving into the dining area, Phil, you'll find that there's a very smart table.
Did you have a hand in this? Do I sense?
It was a suggestion last time I was here. So this is scaffolding boards.
Really?
Limed, yep.
You've been very industrious and creative as well.
Yeah, we've had to be.
Bifold doors open out onto decking that was left over from Curtis's mum's house. Spending just 150 on supporting timber and screws has extended the living space out into the garden.
We thought we've got to do that, really. It's going to make it, and it really does. So we...
It does, it's so good for the kids.
Yeah.
And it gives you that indoor-outdoor feel.
It's undeniably a magnificent achievement, but they wanted a bigger garden. Now it's even smaller, and Curtis doesn't have the rural setting he craved.
You were the one, Curtis, that wanted to see other things and have it to change, and, you know, you were really up for it. That second house was 85% bigger than this one is today. I mean, it really was the full Monty in terms of the forever home.
It was lovely, wasn't it? We loved it.
lovely,
We
yeah.
haven't stopped talking about it, really. We've been on about it most days and told all our friends and family about it as well. I loved it.
It is nice house.
Yeah.
I know it was an amazing house, but I also was very aware that, Jamie Lea, you just had a baby and you were just doing a project, and the last thing that was on your mind, regardless of what I showed you, was taking on another project.
Yeah. So that's about right.
Yeah.
It's just so stressful.
Right. Jamie Lea, Curtis, are you going to love it?
Or list it.
What do you reckon, Jim? You can say it.
Did you say it together?
Go on, let's say it together.
Okay.
We're going to
Love it.
Yeah, it's a tough decision, and I think in 3 months I will change my mind.
Not saying we'll stay here forever. I think this house is perfect for our current life.
For right now.
When we've had the children, and then I'm qualified and back to work full time, then it's another stage of our life. We can get a bigger house.
Well, congratulations. Many, many congratulations.
Thank you.
Seriously, you've done well.
Epic decision.
Yeah.
It was a hard-earned and well-deserved Love It victory. 4 years later, Phil returned. Jamie Lea and Curtis were still in their terrace. There had been big changes. And I'm not just talking about the kids shooting up in size.
Jamie Lea had graduated from university and embarked on her psychology career, while Curtis, inspired by the work he did in the house, had given up the gym and started a table-making business. And Scarlett and Maverick had gained a little brother to play with, baby Phoenix.
Remember me? Hello. I'm okay. How are you?
How you doing, Phil? You all right?
You're still here?
Still here, yeah.
Curtis had continued improving his DIY skills by removing the chimney breast of the blocked-up fireplace to increase usable floor space and replastered the walls. The budget-savvy couple also managed to convert their attic for just £20,000. With the average cost of a loft conversion being over 60, this was yet another incredible transformation. But there were even more shocks in store.
So that's it. Done. Finished. House.
There's nothing else to do to this house. Every single inch of this house has been transformed, so it's time to move on now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, definitely.
So what's the plan? You've actually decided to list?
Yeah, we're going to list.
Good.
A few years what we did. In the
I'll
end.
take that. I'll take that. I've waited a long time for it. But,
Yeah.
So you're on the market?
We're on the market now, yeah.
Yeah.
While Jamie Lea and Curtis had transformed their terrace into an immaculate turnkey home, when they decided to list it, the market was in bad shape. Interest rates had doubled over a year, and they were really struggling to find a buyer.
You do have to have it on at the right price with the right agent. This is not a market to be ambitious in.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, what that has produced is what Kirstie and I call a burnt property. When someone's tried a big high price, it hasn't worked, they reduce it, they reduce it, they reduce it, and they're then chasing the market. And you've been on the market for a year. So people looking at the internet sites will see that.
Yeah.
And they will sniff some desperation, which isn't necessarily true or there. You've got a beautiful house. Try not to be disheartened, because between the time that you bought the house and now, prices in Albrighton have gone up 35%. What did you buy it for?
140 we bought it for, yeah.
And you spent
40 odd, yeah.
45.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to walk away with 100 grand, aren't you?
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah, profit. And that's what we want to do.
So it's off to Wales.
Hopefully.
That's the plan.
Yeah.
That's the plan.
But of course, in order to get to that next stage, you've got to sell it. Listen, best of luck. I really mean it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me back.
Well,
and I'm pleased it did its job. And I'm going back to claim a drink off Kirstie because it's a list.
That's it.
So the family's sights were firmly set on rural Wales. But I've had a call to say there's been another twist in the tale. Of course. Curtis and Jamie Lea have finally bought a new home. But I'm not heading to Wales. My sat-nav is set for Codsall, a village only a 5-minute drive from where they were living in Albrighton. I just need to get there safely first.
Stop it. OK, stay closed.
After some robust advice from Phil, Jamie Lea and Curtis finally managed to sell their 4-bed terrace.
And they turned a tidy profit. So when Curtis was scrolling the property sites and glimpsed this 400-year-old sprawling 3-bed cottage, where others saw problems, he saw potential. They secured it for £290,000.
Look at this. Loads of outbuildings, a couple of apple trees. Oh, I think the engine's still running. Those electric cars, it's impossible to know when you've switched them off.
Impossible for some people.
Oh, shush, Spencer. Now, with any other pair, I'd be shocked by what I can best describe as a hodgepodge of history, extensions and outbuildings. But this seems typical of Curtis and Jamie Lea.
Oh my God, look at you.
You okay? You look lovely. I'm okay, thank you.
Oh my God. Hello, you. So, blimey.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's a bit different, isn't it?
It really is. Bravery has got to be in the top 3 words I'd use to describe you two.
All crazy.
No, brave. Brave, really.
They finally have Curtis's rural dream with extended families still in reach.
What's the acreage?
We've got about an acre.
I mean, it's a really big space.
Yeah, perfect for me, innit?
And you've got outbuildings.
Yeah.
Can we get in?
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
The house had been empty for 18 months, but while damp and rot are their most immediate challenge, long-term it's the floor plan and bedroom space.
As you'd expect from the outside, the internal layout is a bit higgledy-piggledy. The only bathroom is downstairs, tucked between the kitchen and dining room, all of which are in the modern extension. The old stone cottage houses the sitting room, with a narrow staircase in the corner leading to the 3 bedrooms upstairs. While Jamie Lea and the kids stayed with her mum, Curtis got to work fitting a working kitchen and renovating bedrooms, while engineers installed a central heating system and did a full electrical rewire. He also converted the dining room into a play area, and his current task, on a very lengthy to-do list, is the bathroom. And by the way, all of this has taken place in the last 5 weeks. Yes, you heard me.
You were settled. You were sorted. You were in a finished house.
Yes. It was mine, right?
What made you do it?
Not just me. So this house basically was like a mixture between what we wanted in Wales with it being really local.
Curtis still dreams of the Welsh countryside, but with the properties they like there out of reach financially, this seems like the ideal compromise.
You had to do a lot of work here.
Yeah, it was not livable.
No.
We thought we could just like rip the carpet up. The floor seemed okay, didn't it? But then when we started moving in, it was just not safe.
It was not.
We had to do things obviously like new electrics, the central heating, all really invasive kind of work, which we couldn't like live in it without all that. Upstairs is pretty finished really, the bedrooms.
Upstairs, Curtis has plastered all the walls, fitted new flooring and replaced broken windows. And after 4 weeks at Mum's, Curtis, Jamie Lea and the kids have now finally spent their first night in their new home as a family.
I always say to people, if you are going to live in something, have a sanctuary.
Yeah.
Then you can put up with almost anything.
Yeah.
And I do love our old house, so I know it's for the best to move, but it's just hard.
It is hard.
Like now, when it's not finished, thinking like, what have we done?
It's a bit like camping at the minute, isn't it? We've just about made it livable, and we're sort of camping out.
There's still a long way to go, and as much work as there is inside, outside will need attending to as well.
A big thing to take on an acre of land. You've got the outside buildings. What do you see as the benefits?
I mean, it's lovely for the kids, isn't it? You know, they've got all that space, got the fruit trees, you know, they love all that kind of thing.
Like when it's a lovely sunny day and we're out in the garden, it's just beautiful.
We're going to get some chickens.
I knew you were going to say
I know.
chickens.
It's always been my dream.
Yeah, well, you see, Phil's got chickens and he's obsessed by his chickens. He posts pictures of the chickens on social media and the eggs and everything.
That'll be you.
That's me, yeah. I mean, there's so many different options here. You know, we could even turn those workshops into a granny flat or anything in the future.
Have you told your mum she's coming to live in the end of the shed?
After living with us, she'll probably say no thanks.
The work already done is only phase 1 of their plans. Wheels are already in motion for phase 2, knocking away the higgledy-piggledy old extension and building a new 2-storey, 4-bedroom extension. Honestly, this pair.
So what's your overall budget?
Phase 1 was to get the heating in and, you know, the electric sorted, make it livable. We've initially set 10 grand for that. But then for the big extension, we've got about 40 grand for that, which I know is nothing for what we want.
No. Listen, 40 grand in your hands is like 120 in anybody else's.
Yeah.
I've never known a couple who can get their money to go as far as you two can.
Yeah.
It's you, he's such a haggler. I don't know how he finds the deals.
It's amazing.
Really, but it's amazing what you can get, though.
It is.
You know, if you try.
Yeah. I mean, where did this kitchen come from, for example?
This kitchen was from a house local, £200 we paid for this kitchen, with all the appliances and everything.
Just love it. And with the appliances.
Yeah.
It's amazing, isn't it? And you think what people spend on their kitchen.
Well, the thing is, there's no point getting new, because in a year or two we're extending it and it's all going to be ripped out, so
daft,
we've got to get as cheap as we can.
I mean, even like the light fittings and everything, we've got second-hand light switches, everything, you know. Plasterboards, building materials, sand, cement, bricks.
Like leftover, aren't they?
Leftover, yeah. Been going around the building sites and asking if they need it.
And often, builders will sell you things which they would have chucked out.
Yeah. Well, it saves on the skip cost, doesn't it, for them a lot of the time. They're happy for you to take a bit away.
I mean, you are amazing.
Curtis and Jamie Lea are, as always, keeping a close eye on every penny. And when you consider that a small, simple room can cost over £1,000 to plaster, Curtis is saving lots of cash, putting his new skills into practice.
My admiration for you two is limitless, because it is quite a thing to take on. I mean, I'm looking around and just thinking, how many walls have you had to plaster?
Yeah, it's been a nightmare. I mean, no plasterer wanted to touch it.
No.
'Cause this bit we're in now is 400 years old.
Yeah.
It took a lot of, you know, just try and get it somewhat square and, you know, it was a nightmare.
So how often do you do things after the kids are all in bed?
Every night we're doing bits onto the house. But that'll only be for another 3 or 4 weeks, and then we can rest then, get the planning all sorted, get all the drawings, get everything finalised, submitted.
Who was living in here before?
So this has been the family house for 400 years, this has.
Right.
So the same family, it's never been sold before.
Wow.
So we're the first people other than the family to own this house. But
it's been empty
for 2 or 3 years, yeah.
Yeah.
I really think we rescued this house. You know, there was damp and all sorts of issues. Never had central heating, so it was a very damp, cold house. So we've definitely saved it, I reckon.
The boundless energy of Curtis, combined with the stoicism of Jamie Lea, makes them the perfect pair to resurrect this unique home and save it for another 400 years.
Have you had days when you thought, what have we done?
Most.
You
like it, don't you? I don't like living in mess and...
No.
But, you know, it's worth it at the end, and we know we've sort of done it before, haven't we? So we know what we've got in store this time.
I think it's like having a baby. You forget what it's like, and then when you're in it the second time, you're like, oh, God, oops.
Yeah. I keep telling myself it's an investment for the kids. That's getting me through. Getting me through.
And have the kids been enjoying it?
Yeah, I was really worried, actually, because Scarlett didn't want to move. She really struggled. but they actually love it. Like, they love it more than I do. Like, they're in the garden every day catching frogs and picking apples off the tree, and they're in their element. Oh. And Maverick said to me the other day, Mummy, I love our new house. Oh. So, like, because they love it, it makes it easier for me.
Yeah.
This house has huge potential, but it is a big renovation.
Oh, great start.
It's a challenge that I'm sure Curtis, Jamie Lea and the kids can meet head on. They're an incredible team, supporting each other through the stresses and strains of the move and all that's to come.
I'm really excited about what the house will be in a couple of years. The thought of it being a beautiful detached house on its own is quite exciting.
I've got a lot to keep me busy here for the next couple of years, which I'm happy about. Wales always keeps calling me back. I think we're destined to be there, I do. Don't know what's going to happen, really. I have to just see how it goes.
Jamie Lea and Curtis are as inspiring as they ever have been. Everything they do is done with enthusiasm and energy. In 2 or 3 years' time, when they're finished with this, which is a mammoth project, I'll have to fight Phil for the right to come back and see them again.
If you'd like our help deciding whether to love it or list it, apply online at channel4.com/takepart. Today, I've travelled to revisit a couple who, since we first met them, have been full of surprises.
Almost 2 years ago to the day, I was standing in a very chilly cemetery in Edinburgh, waiting to hear what Bill and Gary would decide about their future. So, it's -6 in Edinburgh. Why am I so unsuitably dressed?
You can find that out later, but it all started with this 4-bed cemetery lodge house on the outskirts of Edinburgh, where Bill and Gary had lived for 15 years.
We're in a cemetery.
And while Bill loved his quirky home full of treasures, Gary was desperate for more space and a sociable kitchen.
The kitchen is small. I feel like I'm a mile away from everybody. The bedroom's really noisy with the traffic. The garden's too small and overcrowded.
I think we're living in a different house.
Whilst Team Love It really had it all to do.
I really don't know what to do. Seriously, Phil, I haven't felt like this before.
Phil went the extra mile to steal a victory, quite literally.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to England.
Oh!
And we were blown away when we saw the final transformation.
This is just transformed.
But 2 years later, the real surprise is what happened next, as I'm catching up with them in one of the unlikeliest places. Back in 2020, Phil and I were headed to the beautiful and historic city of Edinburgh.
Good morning to you.
Good morning.
I've just come out of Edinburgh Waverley. I'm waiting for a cab.
Anyway, nice to be in Edinburgh.
Lovely to be in Edinburgh.
First time I've been cold in a while.
First time I've worn a jumper. Yeah.
Are you wearing a jumper?
I'm wearing a thin knit.
A thin knit? Really, Phil? Right, do you know the ply?
Whilst I'm sure Kirstie would love to, we've not come to Scotland to talk knitwear. We're heading to meet Bill and Gary, who have been together for 34 years. They live on the outskirts of Edinburgh in the seaside suburb of Portobello with their dog Tinker.
And they're no average homeowners. For the past 15 years, they've lived in this Victorian cemetery lodge house.
Of all the things that bother me about the house, the fact that it's next to a graveyard doesn't. You feel kind of quite secluded, apart from the bedroom being on the main road.
A rather busy main road at that, but despite the noise, property manager Bill couldn't imagine ever leaving his beloved and somewhat distinctive 4-bed home.
I fell in love with it straight away. It's got unique characteristics like a turret. It was very quirky, and that appealed to me.
But police community advisor Gary has a different outlook.
The kitchen is small. I feel like I'm a mile away from everybody if I'm in that. We entertain quite a lot, and I'm always the one that does the cooking. The bedroom's really noisy with the traffic. The garden's too small and overcrowded.
I think we're living in a different house.
Even with the cramped kitchen and small garden, collector maniac Bill still manages to find space for his prized memorabilia.
I must admit, every cupboard is jam-packed full of treasures. It's like an Aladdin's cave. It's wonderful.
Whatever space he has, he fills up. If you open any cupboards, all this stuff falls out. I've always said to him, one day you'll come back and there'll be 100 bin bags outside the front door with all that rubbish in it if you don't get it sorted.
What I would love is concealed storage. So that way I can have all my treasures, but I don't have to have Gary going on and on and on about it.
Maybe just take him away and my problems will be solved.
Let's not resort to such drastic measures so soon, Gary.
Not if I can find them the perfect property elsewhere.
I would like a beautiful house in a rural setting with a view of the sea, relatively close to Edinburgh.
Sounds idyllic and pricey for you, Phil.
Thanks so much. We're in a cemetery.
And despite staying overnight nearby, Phil's running late. Honestly, I blame the lack of a responsible adult when he's alone.
At least he hasn't knocked over a gravestone.
Well, this isn't what I was expecting.
I'm withholding judgment until I see inside.
Hello. Good morning. Very nice to meet you.
Yes, you too.
I'm very intrigued to see more. Go on, Phil, you get on in.
We're heading straight to the fresh air of the back garden. But even a quick glimpse tells me the problem here isn't entirely down to the house.
What are we doing here? Who wants to love? Who wants to list?
Well, I love the house. I have since the day we bought it. Well, I want to list it because there's always something needs done, so I think we just need to move on and get somewhere new. It doesn't flow. The rooms are higgledy-piggledy. There's no storage, or what there is full of treasures. Treasures.
What kind of treasures are we talking about?
I've seen some of those treasures. Yeah.
I collect things around music, mostly bands from the 80s when I was a teenager.
Yeah.
I just tucked my head round the spare bedroom door and it's piled on the bed.
That's my processing unit. That's my area for working.
Welcome to my life.
Categorising it and archiving it.
This is a storage problem.
Whilst I appreciate Bill's hobby, the fact that his collection has commandeered the downstairs spare bedroom, an entire 12 square metres of precious space, just isn't fair. But there are other issues at play here, mainly the ground floor layout.
The kitchen's at the end, and when you're in there, you're kind of shut off from everybody.
It's very narrow, it's very dark.
It seems to me on the surface of things that Bill's passion is contributing to Gary's dislike of the house, but you're the one that wants to stay, Bill.
Yes. But Gary's the one that spends time in the kitchen, and aside from the collecting and storage, the kitchen isn't working for you. Is that correct?
I would reluctantly agree.
I think I want to go and have a look around, if that's OK with you two.
Of course.
Even with a £60,000 love-it budget, the solution isn't simple. Local agents have estimated that a renovation spend of more than £50,000 could take them over the ceiling price for their home. So I really need to be careful here.
The only thing they could do to make it work is to push the kitchen out this way. But I should think that would cost them every penny of their budget, and they wouldn't get that back.
Record collections, cassettes.
You're going to need more than a tape rack to sort this one out.
I fear you may be right, but what's more worrying is how I solve the cramped kitchen without overspending. Any ideas?
If you make the kitchen bigger, you'll make the garden even smaller, and their problem is that the garden's not big enough.
Why can't you knock down that wall? You're famous for knocking down walls.
Not for £60,000. I mean, look at the thickness of that wall.
Yeah, you're right. That's 2 foot thick.
Not to mention probably load-bearing.
I'm struggling to see an affordable solution in here, Phil.
And it's impossible to arrange this room any differently.
Because of the doors reduces where you can put things for a kitchen.
Yeah, I really don't know what to do. Seriously, Phil, I haven't felt like this before.
It's clear that lack of storage and kitchen space are at the heart of this debate, two things I'm sure I can solve with a listed budget of around £500,000.
That may be, but as Bill and Gary own a holiday cottage, listing would cost them more than usual. Over £40,000 in Scotland's equivalent of stamp duty and around £9,000 on moving and legal costs. So they could save a substantial sum if they stay put.
You have a much easier job.
Yeah, I'm freely admit I'm quite pleased to be on team listed. Don't you think that Gary's put up with this for such a long time?
I do. I think he's a saint.
Yeah. In a house that you weren't that keen on anyway.
No, no.
I mean, some of us do have to put up with things for long periods of time that drive us round the twist.
I have no idea what you're talking about, Phil.
I love this house, but I think Gary's a saint. My concern is that it's possible to overspend on this house and not get it back.
Gary, hit me with it. What's on the list? What am I searching for?
An older house with some history, but with an open plan, dining, kitchen kind of thing. It was close to the sea, a nice view. That would really help.
Fine. Bill, are you going to consider it? Do you come into this process with an open mind?
I'm receptive a bit. I'll consider, but I'd like to just take this house and give it a better location so like we can get the views that we both would love.
It's going to be an interesting one.
With my 500 grand, I've got to find 3-bed period properties geared towards entertaining with a garden and view. But if I'm to get Bill on board, I'd better make sure there's plenty of storage for his collections too.
I believe that I can find what they're after, but I do see that Bill is here. He's here with...
Bill with bells on?
Bill with bells on. He ain't moving very far.
I'm very happy and confident. Kirstie hasn't got a cat in hell's chance.
Yes, she does.
I think you'll be on a jolly looking at things and I've got to work out what to do in here.
Usually the way. Thank the Lord. See ya!
Oh, he's being insufferably smug. In 2020, just outside Edinburgh, Phil and I were helping Bill and Gary, who were at loggerheads over their 4-bed Victorian home, located in a cemetery.
You look troubled.
I am troubled.
OK.
I love my home. I love the quirkiness of the building. I love the decor and the home that I've created.
I think we could get a nicer house with a nicer outlook, maybe in a nicer place.
But despite an open-ended search criteria for Phil, he was determined to show Bill they'd be better off elsewhere and had £500,000 to prove it.
It's going to be an interesting one.
Whereas I was armed with £60,000 to help them stay put. Except, as always, there was a catch. I only had a ceiling price of around £50,000 to play with, so I came up with a clever budget to give them both what they wanted while staying well under budget.
So, gents, under here there is a plan which will get Gary out of the Cinderella-like kitchen and into the limelight.
Where he belongs.
Indeed, where he belongs.
My plan repurposes the dining room as a kitchen diner by installing units and work surfaces, an under-counter fridge and a new cooking area. A large square table with bench seating allows daily use when tucked away, but can be pulled out to seat up to 12 guests when entertaining. The existing kitchen becomes a combined pantry, additional kitchen space and utility room in one. And finally, bedroom 2 will be furnished with a new desk and stylish freestanding storage to allow Bill to process and store his precious collections.
I never thought about utilising a room that we very rarely use.
Yeah, it's a great room.
Walking through. Were you saying the cooker would be along there?
The cooker. This is where you would do your cooking and you wouldn't feel cut off.
So I think it's great. I've just, but kind of taken aback because I've never thought about that, even considered that.
That's Gary taken care of. Now for Bill and bedroom 2.
You take the bed out of that room, you put a sofa bed, and I don't mean a pull-out sofa bed, which is almost like sort of sofa meets chaise longue meets single bed type of thing. You get all the display stuff that you want, you have all the shelving that you want, you really go down the sort of nerdy path for storage. If you turn that room into a passion room...
Yes.
A passion room.
I think we should all have a passion room.
I think we should.
Yeah.
Yep, I've sown that seed. But I hope I can leave you with positive thoughts, positive things to think about.
Yes, absolutely. As long as I get my passion room, you can do it in the kitchen. You can start now.
Whatever turns you on, Bill. Whatever turns you on.
She won me over with the passion room. I'm all for that. I think that should happen straight away.
But it's Gary we need to convince to stay put.
For me, I feel good. Shocked, but good, because it's another option.
Because of budget constraints, I'm hoping the clever and cost-effective repurposing of rooms is the right thing to do.
To keep Bill and Gary in this lovely house and beat Phil.
You might be right, Kirstie. I think my search is going to be trickier and wider than I first thought. The criteria still feels a bit hazy, but one thing they both agree on is the idea of a rural setting with quick access to the city to see their friends, which is why my first property is just 11 miles south of Edinburgh in the village of Howgate, and despite being on a main road, offers panoramic views of the countryside.
So what do you make of this?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Massive attraction is the views.
Yes.
Let's get on in, because it gets better.
Wow.
Even with the busy road, that's an encouraging start from Bill on Team Love It. Listed at offers over $545,000, I'm pushing them on budget, but this place has a lot to offer. Originally built as 2 cottages in 1881, it gives Gary the modern, spacious, open-plan kitchen diner he's after. The dual-aspect sitting room has bifolding doors that open onto the soon-to-be-finished large garden. Upstairs, there are 4 bedrooms with 1 ensuite and another shower room. Plenty of options for Bill's collections to run as wild as the outlook. With stunning vistas in every direction, this period property offers them everything they need in the semi-rural location they want.
Come on in. Now, given that you guys are looking for somewhere with a modern layout within a traditional building, I thought this could hit the spot.
Yeah, it's a nice size, actually.
That's what you're doing at home, you're opening it out.
I like it, but it feels a bit too modern for me.
Look, after you, let's head through to what would have been the other cottage.
Well, you did ask for a modern layout. At least Bill's sounding positive.
You struggle with flow at home, don't you? And how
Yeah.
it feels a bit disjointed.
Yes.
I felt this actually works really well.
Yes, I do like the size of this room. I'm very pleased that it's so quiet, so it's good double glazing.
OK. Gary? It's just not doing it for you at all, is it?
No. It feels like a modern flat.
Yeah. However, it's got the open planness that you're not going to find in a truly traditional building. Why don't you have a look upstairs? There's 4 beds, 2 baths.
4 beds?
See what you think. It's all falling a bit flat. This has not gone down half as well as I'd hoped.
But that's the risk with an open brief. At least I can use this intel to guide my next house choices.
Oh, well.
Lovely views from the back here. Well, there will be once.
Once the landscape's done.
It's quite a big garden, isn't it?
This is a big house for 2 people and stunning outside and in. But it's clear I've not hit the nail on the head here.
What can I learn from being here?
It's good it's modernised, but there's no character to the inside of the house.
When you say character, is it definitely period character, or is it interested in individuality and kind of, I describe it as a building with personality?
Yes.
Maybe personality.
Yes.
OK. Let me work with that. But we'll move on from here. Call it a learning experience for me.
Back at the house, it's been 3 months since I left Gary and Bill with my plans. As their home is listed, they need consent for the work, both inside and out. But now it's signed off, their build can begin.
We got the listed building consent. Unfortunately, the kitchen's coming from Germany, so this is what's kind of holding things up a little bit.
But they're cracking on with what they can in the meantime. As well as Bill starting to sort through his treasures, they've decided to supersize my plans by fully swapping the dining room and kitchen. In addition, they're splashing out £4,500 on sliding doors in what will be the dining room, which will look onto a newly landscaped garden.
I've got a very bad habit of asking the builder to do additional things.
Yes.
So the list isn't getting shorter, getting longer. And I've got to remind myself you've got to pay for all this.
With all the additional work, they're set to spend upwards of 45 grand, more than I'd wanted and taking them dangerously close to the top of their ceiling price. But it should help Team Lovett scores.
It's really starting to feel exciting.
If Gary's getting excited about Team Lovett's efforts, I need to up my game, especially after the flat reaction to my first house. So I've decided to shake things up a bit.
The brief is still fairly wide and a little bit vague, but I at least know a little bit more about what it's going to take for them to list their own property.
However, three-bed traditional character properties that are open plan and on budget are few and far between. So I'm going to challenge their idea of what a character property can be with my next house, a bit of a wild card situated along the coast in the hamlet of Seaton Mains.
Down here we have quite a interesting property. It is a bit of a curved ball from my perspective.
Is it this one here?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Obviously, it's modern, it's never been lived in, it's freshly built, but it is very, very individual and quite quirky.
So far, so good.
Good.
Listed at offers over 440,000, this fresh-off-the-peg unique new build makes the most of its gorgeous coastal views by flipping the traditional layout. The sitting room, complete with balcony, is on the first floor, along with a guest cloakroom and huge kitchen diner, which is over a third bigger than their existing kitchen and dining rooms combined. Downstairs, on the ground floor, there are 3 bedrooms, 1 ensuite and a family bathroom to boot.
Come on in. Now, up on this level, you get your wonderful views. Wow. Gary, I suppose I had a slight concern that you might struggle to get the feeling here.
I'm not struggling at all. I've got a good feeling about this. I like it a lot.
Ooh.
It's more quirky than the last place.
Yes.
Surrounded by green.
Looks like my gamble is paying off. Bill seems a little quiet, though, and he's the one I need to win round.
Guest loo there. And then this wonderful, huge, open-plan kitchen diner, and it is absolutely vast.
Great kitchen. I like it.
Could you picture yourselves here or somewhere like this?
I can't. I'm missing the fireplaces, I'm missing the...
But it's not an old building.
I know, but that's what I like in the home.
Just when things were looking up.
Why don't you guys have some time together, have a wander. Give me a shout if you've got any questions.
OK, thank you.
Whilst Gary is embracing the new idea of character, Bill can't seem to get his head around it.
Well, this is a nice balcony, eh?
Oh, wow, yeah. So it's great, it's got view, I like that, but...
Yeah, the garden's a bit small.
And downstairs might need even more of an open mind.
No, it's disappointing.
Yeah, but there is obviously upstairs is where you've got the view and all that, but it is slightly dark for me.
Admittedly, it has a basement feel, but a lick of white paint on those walls outside and some sympathetic planting would improve things no end.
How did you get on?
Better than the first property,
Yeah.
But very dark.
Downstairs.
yes.
I'm hoping that coming here shows that your budget does buy you something really interesting close to the beach.
Because it has that quirkiness about it, it works for me.
But have I at least opened your eyes to the concept of listing?
As a concept, closer to the coast, yes.
Leave it with me. I've learned lots. Hopefully you guys have as well.
I think I'd call that progress.
Just now, for the 2 properties that I've seen so far, I've not been convinced or tempted to join the team listed.
Phil's obviously getting more of an idea of what really matters, so I think the next property will tick all the boxes.
At least Gary's got faith in you, Phil. I'm visiting Gary and Bill, who back in 2020 on the outskirts of Edinburgh were in dispute over their rather unique home.
It's like painting the Forth Road Bridge. It's always needing work to it.
And after a slow start on the search with Phil,
It feels a bit too modern.
it looked as though I might have the upper hand with my love-it plans.
So I think it's great. Just like a bit kind of taken aback.
The build was still in its early days, but Gary and Bill supersized my plan and the budget along with it. I was keen to see what was going on.
Wow. Blimey.
In order to make the most of the view out of the newly planned sliding doors, the overgrown garden has had a big tidy up. Shrubs have been cut back and the landscaping started in readiness for a new raised bed.
The garden just feels a lot bigger. So no change in here as yet, but rumour has it that the lads are thinking of actually moving the kitchen wholly into here and the old kitchen wholly as dining room.
Personalising the plans is always a good indication that they could be here for the long haul.
I gather you're going to make this wholly the kitchen and next door wholly the dining room.
Yes.
A brave move.
If you're going to go for it, we might as well do
Go
it
for it.
and go for it.
Are you putting anything in the dining room?
There'll be some kind of storage for plates and
Yeah.
things like that.
It's a bold and potentially expensive move to fully swap the kitchen, but I'm pleased that after almost 2 years of arguing, they are agreed on something. So the next thing is Bill's collection.
How are things going in the study stroke passion room?
Very well. I've got some nice ideas that I'd like to run past you and see what you think.
Bill's obviously spent a long time creating his collection, but now he needs a place to sit and organise it, and then a proper place to put it.
I think you need your stuff to be properly stored so that you can access it.
Yes.
And this is
This is a German book and Skippy.
Skippy de Bosque Kangaroo. An aventure, that's French. I can't speak German.
No kidding, Kirstie. And in fact, it's actually Dutch.
That was 10 pence.
That's 10 pence you'll never get back.
I think you'll find I will. I rest my case.
Even so, it can't just be left strewn over the bed. And whilst modern storage is widely available on the high street, I find that vintage or reclaimed freestanding furniture is a stylish alternative.
Wow.
Which can add a unique touch to any room, no matter your property's age.
And look at this.
Yes, it's lovely.
I mean,
That's the size of a cassette tape.
Vertical cabinets are great for paperwork, letters or photos and don't take up much floor space. Horizontal storage, like architect's drawers, could easily be used as an alternative to store magazines, arts and crafts supplies, or even kitchen utensils.
do you find this inspiring?
Oh, yes, I can see several pieces here in the home.
Yeah. And I think you could do great things along these lines.
With one problem dealt with just over 2 weeks later, things are moving on dramatically back at the house. The old kitchen is well on the way to becoming the new dining room, and half of the swanky new kitchen has already been installed.
It's quite exciting to see it actually happening. I'd like to see it when it's finished. I'm not bothered what it looks like in the middle.
Well, Gary, maybe it's time we go and look at what awaits you on the market when you finish.
I think I've finally got a clearer picture of what Gary and Bill are after, which, given their budget and their search area, is no mean feat, let me tell you. So I'm really pleased that they have given me permission to stretch both budget and search area.
To see if a bigger budget can give them more of what they want, I'm now able to look at properties up to 600,000 and around an hour from home. So with that in mind,
I'm heading south, just across the border.
Honestly, Phil, a whole other country?
hold on, another country it may be, but at just over an hour away, the village of Horncliffe, just outside Berwick-upon-Tweed, offers Gary and Bill the rural feel they're after, with quick and easy access to a bustling town and stunning coastline. But as impressive as that is, I'm more excited to see their reactions to my final property.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to England.
Oh!
I thought for you guys, moving from a cemetery into a church is kind of natural progression, isn't it?
The theme.
Yes, yes.
Wow.
What do you make of that, then?
Yeah, it's amazing. Look at the windows.
It is quite special.
Wow. Love it.
Did you hear that? Hallelujah! Bill has finally seen the light. With a guide price of $595,000, this 1850s village church conversion boasts a breathtaking double-height atrium on the ground floor, providing access to 4 well-proportioned ensuite bedrooms. Up the central staircase, the spacious kitchen, dining area and comfy lounge blend the open-plan modern living with the character features Bill and Gary love. Behind the dining area, there are 2 further bedrooms, a private galleried mezzanine above that, and up more stairs, the impressive main bedroom. With so much on offer, I'm hopeful the guys will love this as much as I do. It really is special.
Now, you've got to check this out.
Oh, wow. Oh, yes, that's beautiful.
It's properly spacious.
Amazing.
Good. Let's see some more.
This unique property is over 2 times bigger than their lodge.
Amazing, absolutely. I'm gobsmacked.
I mean, it's not everyone's cup of tea living in this environment. Is it somewhere you could imagine being?
Yes, definitely.
Definitely. Up there is a room specially for Bill's collectibles. You can collect even more things and display everything at the same time.
Oh, I see. You had to spoil it.
Look, help yourselves. Have a wander. Go and check out that kitchen. It really is. It's the biggest kitchen island I've ever seen.
Wow, this is nice. Look at the size of this. This is really good. And those beautiful windows. Look at the shape of those windows. Yeah.
More very positive noises from them both. And Bill's not even seen the perfect spot for his memorabilia yet.
Wow. Oh, wow. Oh, this is a lot bigger than I thought it'd be. Just think how many cassette tapes I could get in here, Gary.
Sounds to me like Bill has finally joined Team Listed.
Oh, this is nice, eh? It's really quaint. It's small, but it's nice.
Ah, you're out looking for a graveyard. There isn't one here.
What?
There isn't one.
Oh, a shame.
But is it somewhere you could see yourselves living?
Yes. Yeah, it's very tempting.
So have I done my job?
I think you have. I'm mega impressed with this. Within our budget to find somewhere like this is amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Yes. I think I have sort of pulled it out of the bag with this one. Come on, Bill. Team List It. You know it makes sense. Well, come on. You've got it within you. I know you have.
Kirstie's toast.
Kirstie is toast.
Well, despite crossing country borders, even I will admit you've outdone yourself here.
Genuinely feeling torn, thinking I love both places now. And it's really just waiting to see what we decide, what the next step and home will be.
I mean, Bill loves it even more than Gary does. This is spectacular result. I think it's a case of catch up Kirstie.
Pride always comes before a fall, Phil. Just you wait. 4 months since our first meeting, Phil and I were back in Edinburgh, eager to hear what Bill and Gary had decided to do.
Hello!
Hello. Come
nice
in.
to see you both.
You can come.
When we first met Bill and Gary, their house featured an unloved dining room whose prime function was a corridor to a small, dark kitchen. But after swapping the rooms around, the new £16,000 high-spec kitchen sits firmly at the heart of the house, and Gary along with it. Featuring a sleek design and sophisticated muted colours, the new space looks like it could be straight out of an interior design magazine.
This is just transformed. I proposed a gentle semi-swap.
OK.
What's happened is an absolute full swap.
Yes.
But what's extraordinary is that this is a really punchy kitchen.
It's a big kitchen.
The colour is super chic. Anyone interested in cooking and entertaining, this is a stage.
And it really works. Everything's close by, everything's accessible. We'll have seating here. You can sit and talk while you cook. You can talk into the dining room, so it really flows.
Yeah.
And what's more, next door, Gary and Bill's decision to transform the old dark kitchen into a bright and inviting dining room was inspired. With the addition of sliding doors, they can enjoy an alfresco dining experience, whatever the weather.
Can we see some more?
Yes. Yes.
Previously, Bill's memorabilia was in disarray, bursting out of every available space, as well as monopolising a whole spare bedroom. But after taking my advice, the collection has been streamlined somewhat and helped along with a couple of choice pieces of storage and a handy desk. And with the original bed doubling as seating, the bedroom cum passion room is fit for guests and ready for Bill to display and sort his treasured items properly.
Look at this, Bill.
Huge difference in here.
Whose idea was the panelling?
That was mine.
It's inspired. It makes it feel so much bigger. It gives it depth and warmth. I will just say that every moment I spend in this house, I think Phil's confidence is less and less and less justified.
I'll hand it to you. The changes are impressive.
Even more so when you consider they haven't had to extend into the garden and lose their only outside space. Instead, the boys have maximised it by clearing and landscaping, making it an inviting focal point from the dining room.
You're going to get to sit around that and have barbecues?
Yes, hopefully. For as long as we're here.
Well, I'm relying on you, Gary. I'm relying on you. Because you can open these doors, and they are lovely. Because it's very nice.
Mm-hmm.
It's whether it's enough.
They may have expanded my original plan somewhat, but I think what they've achieved is phenomenal. And with a final bill of just over £45,000, they managed to stay within the ceiling price. But after 15 years of living here, will Gary finally love this house?
I think you've done absolutely everything you possibly could have done, but you haven't actually tackled the major issues.
The size has been tackled.
You haven't made it any bigger. You just...
No, but it has. No, but it's not about bricks and mortar.
Yes.
Repositioning a house.
There was more usable space.
Much more usable space.
Yes, but we've got to talk about the church.
Yeah. It was an amazing property. The only thing that I didn't like was there was too many bedrooms. There was 7 bedrooms.
And where on earth was this vast palace?
It was in England.
Yeah, it was in England.
I have said for years that Phil would eventually show somebody something in a different country, and it has finally happened.
Yeah, just over a bridge.
Right, let's do this. Bill, Gary, are you going to love it?
Or are you going to list it?
We're going to.
List it.
You'd be worried there. Congratulations.
Yeah.
You'll sell it really well.
We're not going to do it straight away. We're going to enjoy what we've put in, but with the intention of getting something
out
of the city.
Well, I'm delighted, and I'm delighted you've done such a beautiful job to the house as well.
Yeah. Don't think we ever thought we would come to a decision we both agreed on. It's the first time for everything.
Well, especially myself, where I thought I love the house, I still love the house, but we now feel we've done as much as we can to the house, and it's quite exciting to look at what we could do next.
But I don't think even they could have imagined what did happen.
My word. Years ago, I was with Gary and Bill in Edinburgh. I knew they weren't going to stay, but I had no idea, and nor did they, that they would end up in Benidorm. So I've pulled rank and jumped on a plane to catch up with them. Having decided to list it, much to Phil's pleasure.
You had me worried there.
1 year later, the boys sold their cemetery lodge for a whopping £602,000, just over 70k more than it was valued at the year before. Their plan was to relocate to the Scottish borders, where they would start a new project. However, the building gods had other ideas, as they've run into several complications with planning permissions, meaning they've activated Plan B and headed for the sunshine of the Costa Blanca.
Fingers crossed it's the right address.
Hola.
It is the right address. Hola.
Come in.
Look at this. My word. It's so different. I sort of kind of don't know where to start.
I'm gobsmacked. It is different to their cemetery lodge, but it still has the quirky features Bill and Gary love. The iron staircase, windows and flooring are packed with character. But this property also has the space and the weather to go with it. With 4 generously sized bedrooms and a box room, there is more than enough space for Bill's treasures. The well-proportioned kitchen has been tastefully refurbished to reflect their style. But, unlike their old home in Scotland, it doesn't bear all the weight for entertaining. As with better weather all year round, they have the courtyard and roof terrace to host their guests in. I'm impressed.
Everything screams Spain. You've got the marble staircase, you've got the ironwork on the stairs.
Beautiful features.
So, 2 years ago, I came to see you.
Yeah.
And you, with him, that other one, Phil Spencer, and you sat there despite all the work you'd done on your house, and you said you were going to list it. So you put it on the market?
Yeah.
Yes, and very quickly it sold, and we used some of the proceeds of that to buy this place here in Spain.
And when did you first come to Benidorm?
May of this year.
May?
Yeah, as a viewing trip.
Who said it was a good idea? What suggested, you know?
Well, Gary, you always wanted a place in the sun.
Yeah.
And
we don't work on logic, we work on impulse. And I knew I wanted to be near the beach, near bars. I wanted somewhere that was all year round, warm and nice. And we saw this, it needed a lot of work, but I thought the location, Old Town, beach, bars, cafes, and it just seemed perfect. It just was, and it was a good price for Benidorm, so
I've even found a local shop that sells second-hand records, books and music cassettes.
Have you managed to get any of it into the house?
Yes. Don't tell Gary.
Well, I want to see all this house and this miracle building work that's been going on.
Okay.
In true Bill and Gary style, they've really gone for it. Spending around £21,000 so far, they've renovated 3 bathrooms and are working their way through the 5 bedrooms. But the old, tired kitchen they arrived to has been totally transformed.
Ooh, now this is a good kitchen because it's not your sort of big family kitchen, but neither is it a galley kitchen.
Yeah, Spanish tend to have smaller kitchens because we have a barbecue. People eat outdoors most of the time. So for, you know, Spanish houses, it's quite a decent-sized kitchen. And we did think about knocking down walls, but I thought, no. We need Kirstie to come and advise us about that first.
No.
But it's also a work in progress and it's almost finished.
Like Phil, they went to a whole other country. But in Benidorm, they found the perfect house in the perfect location. It's close to the sea with stunning views, but also close to the hustle and bustle of the old town with its shops and cafes.
Oh, my word! Look at this. Love the colour scheme.
The glass you can see out, but nobody can see in. It's especially...
You took the words out of my mouth, Gary. I was about to say, while this is lovely, you are quite exposed to your neighbours.
Yeah.
That is one-way glass.
Yeah.
That is lovely. I mean, it's just so different. That's what keeps on striking me. It's so different, either to Edinburgh or to the borders.
Yes.
I'm blown away.
But no real luxury pad in Benidorm would be complete without a roof terrace.
So, I've never been to Benidorm. I've just walked up through a bright light house that you seem to have done a hell of a lot to in the space of time you've been here. What's not to like?
Nothing. We love it. We really love it.
Can I ask what this cost?
€220,000.
220,000 euros.
Yeah. Benidorm property is expensive because it's a year-round place. That price is good for walking distance to the beach and the old town and things like that.
What can you buy in Edinburgh for 220,000?
A garage, maybe.
What are you planning to do out here?
Well, maybe an awning.
It's all about the shade, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it gets really hot here in the summer. The sun's beating down constantly, so yeah, we do maybe need some to create shade.
if you look on a search engine and you look up Moroccan rooftops.
Oh, yeah.
Right, yeah.
I like Morocco.
You know, you see those sort of tented...
Yes,
And
yes.
then they have sides as well.
Yes.
Which protect from the sun coming in.
Yes.
And I think it'd be lovely to do something like that.
that's
And
a
they're
good
not
idea.
expensive.
No, no.
So, I mean, that would give you some privacy here, having things growing along here, wouldn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
It's a lovely, huge roof terrace.
It's lots of space.
I mean, it's like another room,
Yes.
basically.
Yeah.
I mean, the other thing, obviously, people put on their roofs are solar panels to reduce your
yeah.
energy costs even further.
Yes.
You just feel that the sun's out
Yeah.
all those days of the year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why would you not?
Yeah.
But do some digging on the local council and government websites, because often they offer various incentives for renewable energy. What these two have discovered here is wonderful and offers them a life that is simply not possible in the UK. Well, not 365 days of the year.
If Phil Spencer could see me now.
You'd be so envious of
He
you.
regards this as a win, obviously, because it was a list it.
Yes.
But who's winning now, Phil?
Exactly.
Look at me. Sun, beautiful Spanish tiled courtyards,
Vino.
glass of rosé. Look, I mean,
Salud.
we've got to do this early before we
Salud.
drink. Salud.
Salud. Salud, Phil.
So, this is a lovely, balmy, cool spot. What is your plan for it?
Quite a lot. We have the basics just now of the barbecue here, so we'll keep that.
Yes.
But we're going to sort of hopefully put a jacuzzi in the corner.
That would be wonderful because it's totally private.
Yes. But I'm also thinking about getting some screening put here because I want a wall of light going along there.
Oh, that would
and
be
you've got to
lovely.
think of your neighbour, you have some solid behind it.
So fairy lights kind of thing.
Yeah.
Bill, it says a lot about you that you've thought about that because so many people put up lights and never think of the impact of those lights on their neighbours. It would be lovely to have lights here. The only thing I would do is I'd make it navy blue, like the tops of the tiles.
Yes.
Oh, yes, yeah. That's...
It's just lovely.
What we did put in as well, we put in these new patio doors.
Oh, it didn't have those?
No, it's a single door and a small window.
Ooh.
So when we first came, that's one of the first jobs we got done.
So basically, 6 months ago, you came out here for the first time,
Yes.
bought a house, and now here you are.
You couldn't make it up, really, could you?
You could not make it up.
Because we love Scotland, we think it's the best country in the world.
Of course you do.
But the weather is not great, so to have Scotland and to have Benidorm just is like a dream come true.
It's a love story because you've just gone for it. So many of us go, what if, what if, what if? And you've just said,
We've always done that.
Yeah.
just go for it.
And I mean, neither of us were born with money or inherited money. We both came from council house, which I never dreamt in my wildest dream would ever have a house in Spain. I never dreamt I'd have my own house. So it just shows if you kind of, follow your dreams and kind of work hard, you can get it. So
Let's drink to that.
Hey.
Following your dreams.
salud.
Salud.
And it couldn't have happened to a nicer couple. Although I do wonder where they might be in another 2 years. Shotgun that trip, Phil. If you'd like our help to love it or list it, apply online at channel4.com/take part. This time, I'm travelling solo. Back to catch up with Catherine and Nigel, who just 4 years ago were at a loss over what to do with their remote family home in Larne.
There's no decisions being made and life's been on hold for a very long time and it's time to start living.
A year and a half.
Well, nearly 2 years.
While Phil whisked them off to see some fantastic and very affordable houses, not just for the family.
Plenty of room for chickens, even more chickens. Could have a
Goat.
sheep.
I got to work repurposing their unloved space to completely transform their home.
It is a bit of the wow factor now.
It is a bit of one.
And restored marital bliss.
Are you going to love it?
Or list it.
But all is not as I left it.
Hot tub.
in 2018, Phil and I packed our bags and jetted off to the wet but wonderful town of Larne, 20 miles from Belfast.
So we're going to meet a couple who met on a plane, actually.
Really?
Yeah. And she was a stewardess. She gave him her number, which I think is pretty cool customer service. I think that's excellent. It's a lot more than I get on a plane now.
Oh, Phil, you do make me laugh. You wouldn't know what to do. If a member of the cabin crew gave you her telephone number, you'd run for the hills.
I might love the idea of it, but actually I would be scared witless.
Scared witless.
Not Nigel, though. He and Catherine have been married for 7 years now and have 2 daughters, Daisy and Lola.
I tried to first marry a captain, it just never worked, so I had to resort myself to passengers.
But after the purchase of this 3-bed bungalow just 2 years ago, they seem to have hit a bit of turbulence.
The things that irritated me at the beginning are now irritating me even more, so I'm now beyond irritated.
But they're just small things and they could be fixed. Very simply, very simply.
Yes, but there's no decisions being made and life's been on hold for a very long time and it's time to start living.
A year and a half.
Well, nearly 2 years.
They bought this house after the death of Catherine's mother, wanting to downsize, release some equity and have more family time and holidays.
Going through that grief of losing Mom, I was in such misery, and then I just suddenly decided that we needed to make changes to start living a life and freeing up a bit of cash that we weren't paying a really big mortgage.
But Catherine quickly started to regret that decision.
I'm team list it for various reasons. The house doesn't work for us as a family. We're all a bit disjointed. We're all in different rooms. I hate the storage. There's no storage except for one little cupboard that I fall out with every single day. Bedroom's quite small as a master bedroom.
Yeah.
The bathroom's quite small. The kitchen is my biggest bugbear. It's at the back of the house, very dark. It's a really small kitchen, so therefore it's not very sociable.
Added to that, inviting neighbours round is tricky when the nearest village is just over a mile away.
It's really isolated living here. It's like I've moved here and I'm suddenly now thinking, where's my social life gone? It could be a really fantastic home, but just not for our family. I think we've made the wrong decision.
But whilst Catherine really misses a community and village life,
Nigel's positively thriving in this rural setting.
I didn't want to move in the first place, but now that I'm here, I absolutely love it. I really do love it. I love the location, I love the views. I have my own greenhouse, I have my chickens running about the place. I like to be outside. I'm not an inside sort of a person. To convince me to leave would have to be something very special, and I can't see it out there.
I think you're going to be blown away with something that we're seeing.
I can't see it. I cannot see it whatsoever.
It's my goal to make the house match the views of this 70s-style bungalow.
whereas I aim to expand their horizons even more by showing them what else is on the market.
Who wants to love? Who wants to list?
Oh, gosh. I am... Team List It.
And I'm Team Love It.
Oh, my
That's superb! What's the story? What's happened? What's gone on?
We've moved here from Glencoe.
It's a little village, and it was very, very lovely life. Then my mum passed away, and I think I was in complete grief, and I wasn't really thinking straight. And I thought, like, let's downsize our mortgage so we've got more money to enjoy life, and convinced Nigel that was the right thing. And now I'm really thinking if I could clip my fingers and go back 2 years, I probably wouldn't have done it. I think I've done the wrong thing. It's too rural, it's too remote, there's no neighbours.
When a parent dies, it absolutely caused psychological shifts. For you, you thought about family time and spending more time together and everything.
Yeah.
And actually, it hasn't panned out like that.
No.
Because you don't really love the house, you feel more alone here, and it's immensely complex.
Mm-hmm.
What's not right about it?
The house just doesn't work for us. The kitchen's too small, it's dark. I also am not sure about a bungalow. When we first moved, he said, Nigel, I really missed going upstairs to bed. And what did you tell me to do?
Out the back door, round the front, up the steps, and you go.
I'm intrigued to the fact that you had to persuade Nigel to buy this house, and yet Nigel is on Team Love It.
Yeah, I couldn't get my head around it. Now, I love the location, I love the views, I love the outside of it. You know, I have my chickens, I have my greenhouse, I'll maybe have a vegetable plot at some stage. But the thing is, the house isn't right, and I know it's not right, but I know with Kirstie's help, it will be right.
Well, Nigel, you're putting a lot of faith in Kirstie, but even she can't create neighbours.
This is going to be interesting. And tricky. The kitchen that cannot be eaten in.
Oh, it's pathetic as a family kitchen. It's lovely, the garden, though, and the sense of being in the countryside.
So Nigel has once already been convinced to do something he didn't want to do.
Most men can be.
Which bodes well for Team Listed, but the views and garden are going to be hard to compete with.
This is obviously the kids' room where they hang out.
No, this is perfect for the kids.
Your eyes really are drawn to the view.
Well, when it's there.
But without a kitchen dining area, it does explain why Catherine feels so separated from the girls.
It's not big enough.
The whole place isn't big enough.
Their old house was almost 75% bigger, with a kitchen diner and utility room, and was geared towards family living, unlike this bungalow.
It feels like there's a lot of smaller issues to solve.
Like the fact that the only ensuite is in Lola's room and not in her parents'.
There's the kind of issues everywhere.
Just a few rooms in, and already there seems a huge amount to be done for their budget of 35 grand.
Do you know, I wish I had a whole collection of little shots of you struggling to get into garages.
You probably do, actually. It's like a double-height garage.
Well, that's good, because
Oh
this is
my
where my
God.
kitchen's going.
You've got to use this.
Yeah.
This great underused space is a real game changer. Next to the lounge, it would be easy to knock through and create the bigger kitchen living room they're missing. Plus, if they stay, they won't waste £1.5 grand in stamp duty and around £4,500 in legal and moving costs. That's over £6,000 they won't want to spend, seeing as they've just moved recently.
But with my budget of 220 grand, I should be able to find Catherine a house with neighbours.
Well, we've had a good look round. I think your garage is under some threat.
Oh, well, I need a shed.
You've got this.
Yes,
They're
you've got
too
3
small.
sheds there.
Can we talk about what I should go looking for? Give me the full description.
3 bedrooms at least. I'd like 4 if I could. I'm open to old or new house and a few neighbours, that it's not as rural as this.
Nigel, anything to add to that?
A view would be nice. A bit of ground for my chickens. I don't want to lose my chickens, so that's part of it as well.
Whilst property is very reasonably priced, there's not much on the market around Larne. But I'm going to do my best to line up some fabulous 4-bed homes with big kitchen diners, neighbours and space for chickens.
Phil is going to struggle like mad because we have looked and there's nothing.
Is Kirstie actually going to build me a little village at the back of the garden so I've got some neighbours and friends? A few pan drawers is not going to fix this.
What you can't do is make it more community-minded.
I know I
for her.
can't.
This is a really difficult one.
I know.
And I couldn't call it. I'm worried about everything, actually.
I don't have enough money for what I need to do. You could really spend on this plot. I mean, look, there's no way we're not going to sell this house for more than we spend on it. Because look at the potential of this spot.
We are going to move.
We are not going to move.
We are.
In 2018, Phil and I were in Larne, attempting to settle a debate between Catherine and her husband Nigel.
I love the house. I love the views. The location is brilliant. I have my chickens running about the place.
I don't really like being as rural as I am. I miss village life, but unfortunately my husband loves it because he loves the outside space. So a lot of convincing to do, Phil, but we can do it.
I'll give it my best shot, Catherine. So, armed with 220 grand, I've got to find a house that'll tempt Nigel away from his rural idyll.
Meanwhile, I've got a budget of 35 grand to make Catherine love this house so much that she can live with the remote location.
This is a phenomenal room. Absolutely phenomenal. It would have windows on 3 sides. If you pushed out that wall above the garage, it could just be fantastic. Look at this, look at the view. You know what? I don't reckon they're going anywhere.
Nigel's going to have to give up his garage, but there will be room for storage underneath, and it may be the price he has to pay to stay put.
So we have to make this house a home. It's either going to be a home for you...
Or for somebody.
That was quick, Catherine. Or for somebody. But this is an undeveloped plot. It has not been taken to its full potential.
Yeah.
Currently, the family all live in separate rooms. So I plan to knock through from the living room into the garage, create a fabulous open-plan kitchen dining room that brings the family together and makes full use of those incredible views. The old kitchen becomes a third double bedroom, which means daughter Daisy's old single bedroom can turn into a big family bathroom with extra storage, whilst the old bathroom goes to give Catherine and Nigel bigger bedroom space.
It's something we've not even considered, moving Daisy's room. I'm now worried for Phil. I'm thinking the plans are a bit too good for my liking.
I think it will change how you use this house as a family. I'm absolutely convinced of it.
And I think the way the kitchen is there at the moment, it's just at the back of the house, quite dark. You've always got to have a light on.
It's madness. It's absolute madness. You've got to... You can't be in the kitchen where you spend the majority of your time and not be looking at this view.
Yeah. You should be very happy with that.
Got a winner, Kirstie. Thank you very much.
I'm not shaking your hand yet. I'll wait until it's done. I've made my decision.
Catherine wants to be wowed, really wowed. For her to stay in this house, she has to feel that it's $1 million house. Quite tricky for £35,000. But I'll give it my best. Meanwhile, Phil was happily hunting for a new house around Larne, which back in 2018 had some of the most affordable house prices in the country.
Now remember, Nigel, open mind.
That cleansed my mind.
Otherwise, we'll open it for you. I think there are lots of challenges. Catherine, you specifically want neighbours and things around you, and yet Nigel, you specifically want space for chickens and views.
Yeah.
So those two things don't necessarily go hand
together,
in hand.
no.
So I'm just kind of...
Nigel keeps winding me up because he says, you convinced me to move, you'll get a house and you'll have neighbours. And then next year you'll be on Neighbours from Hell.
I brought them 3 miles down the road to a modern family house in the heart of a large estate on the outskirts of Larne.
Close neighbours. Pretty close.
That's what neighbours are, close. He's probably having palpitations now. I think he'd get me out of here.
What are you thinking, Nigel? Go on.
Oh, jeepers.
OK, don't.
He's actually trying to make it up, isn't he?
OK, so not the best start, but this house will help me gauge how important neighbours really are for Catherine or really aren't for Nigel. 15 years old, this detached home with a garage is in great nick throughout, with the large kitchen diner they asked for, plus several stylish reception rooms and 4 bedrooms. At 40 grand under budget, it's on at just under £180,000. The great price and extra space inside will definitely appeal to Catherine and might just get Nigel thinking.
Gosh, it's a big living room.
It is a big living room,
It's a
isn't
big
it?
living room, yes. Can imagine us all sitting here watching TV. It's lovely.
I'd love to see somebody on the front foot and being positive straight away.
It's actually very nicely decorated, isn't it? It's lovely.
It's lovely, it is.
The family-sized kitchen comes with a useful addition.
Kitchen, utility.
Very good.
You've got the kind of breakfast bar. You've still got room for sofas and dining. I just like the flow of this.
Yes,
Yeah.
do you know, it's a family house. You can tell straight away it's a family house.
Yeah.
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 He's not saying anything, he's thinking.
Go on, Nigel, go on.
Is it filling you with dread?
It's very overlooked.
But we haven't seen all of the living space.
OK.
Through to the conservatory, which I think they've done really well.
And I love the natural light in here. I could imagine I would spend an awful lot of time sitting in here.
The asking price of £179,000 seems an awful lot of house for the money.
I know they say size doesn't matter, but sometimes it does.
I'm going to have to agree with you there. And with 4 bedrooms, there's more to see upstairs, Catherine. That's right, I said stairs.
Fitted wardrobes. It's quite small, really.
Yeah.
Bathroom.
Yeah.
This master bedroom with the ensuite's much better than what we've got now.
Yeah, it's bigger. Definitely.
It is bigger. I don't know if it's filling me with, I want to sell the house straight away and move.
Yeah.
Only because I think it's probably very built up. And
It just feels very claustrophobic.
that's because you come from a house with a huge garden. But we're never going to get
A
that.
little bit of my chickens.
Admittedly, while there's stacks of room for the family inside, there is only 40 square metres outside. But with the market quiet, property like this is pretty scarce.
The garden is small and the neighbours are close, but equally they're in a tricky situation, and this is 179 grand.
Hello.
Come and join me out here. Is it a garden or is it a yard? I don't know, but there's room for barbecues. There's a garage in it.
Room for a trampoline.
Yeah. It's not going to suit the chickens.
Not chicken friendly, no,
No.
definitely not.
And this is the compromise house.
Yeah.
Yes.
Downstairs, it works downstairs.
Yeah.
It's a very open plan, it works well, but the problem is upstairs.
Bedroom's quite small, except for the master bedroom.
And I think here too, it's quite claustrophobic. You know, the houses are sort of on top of each other, and we want something with a wee bit more breathing space.
So if this house could be moved to a village,
Yeah.
yes, I think it'd tick more boxes.
Well, I've learnt that you can have too much of a good thing. In this case, too many neighbours. If they want a house this size with more outside space in a village, I'll have to up the budget. But I have got another 40 grand to play with.
We're actually in a house now, and you've viewed it. You've actually got off your bum and come and see in a house, so that's a plus side as it is, just to get you here.
Yeah, definitely. Well, it's maybe making me now think to myself, well, I definitely don't want to leave.
Oh, God. No.
Oh dear, Phil, looks like you've only convinced Nigel even more to stay put. Well, reservations aside, 10 weeks on, the guys have moved out and the work is well underway. They've embraced my ideas 100%, and the open-plan kitchen diner is already taking shape. The wall between the living room and the garage is coming down, and new windows make the most of the wonderful setting.
Why would you want to move from here now?
Oh.
Why would you want to move from here? Look at that.
Calm yourself down.
Look at that.
The views here might be unbeatable, but my next house has other winning attributes, and I think Nigel could be swayed. The next house I brought them to is in the village of Ballycarry, 6 miles south from their current home.
This is exciting.
How about that?
Yes.
Compared to house number 1, this striking 1980s bungalow has 5 times the outside space with a lot less neighbours, as well as being a real knockout. Inside there are 5 bedrooms, a stylish open-plan living area, and a big kitchen diner, all making it the perfect family home. On the market at just under 230,000, it's 10 grand over budget. But the financial stretch would be well worth all the extra space.
Neighbours around us, but not too close to us, so yes, it's lovely. I'm getting a much better vibe here. Nigel? Stumped your words now, but for the wrong reasons.
Yes. You've done well, Phil.
I aim to please Nigel, and it just gets better inside.
Now,
Like this already.
we've got quite a quirky and interesting house here.
Yeah.
Yes, it's quirky, but I like quirky.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like things that are a little bit different.
And then lead through opening to the kitchen, which is still going to be larger than the kitchen you're going to have at home.
Oh.
It's priced at 229,000, but
Yes,
it's a good example
of what's out there.
of what's out there. Something that's in a village location,
Yeah.
but it's not too claustrophobic.
No.
Overlooked.
There's plenty of space surrounding this house and a lovely outlook.
That is a big garden, isn't it? And I like the view of the church as well, it's lovely.
You can see the sea just over there as well.
Keep going, Catherine, keep going.
Well, Catherine's already sold, which means she might not mind the fact that it's a bungalow. But surely 5 bedrooms will make up for the fact that she can't go upstairs to any of them.
Bedroom. That's quite big, isn't it?
Yeah, double bed in there.
Yeah, it's a great job.
I reckon Nigel's on the ropes, which means Kirstie's there with him, which is always a good thing.
Very good. I like it.
Lovely.
Sounds like you're changing your mind, Mr. Finch.
It certainly does, Catherine. And for my final flourish...
What's in here?
The most important?
Garage.
Oh.
The garage. There's a mezzanine up here. He's got a kind of gym up there.
Yeah.
And then there's a storage room, utility room.
Okay. Very good.
So
This keeps getting better and
there's a
better.
lot of space, isn't there?
Yeah.
It's the house that keeps on giving.
You didn't want it to keep on giving, did you?
He didn't want you to stop at the front door.
Something to think about, anyway.
Bill pulled it at the back. I think you're swaying. You were saying some lovely comments around there.
It's definitely more appealing, this one, than the first one,
Yeah.
definitely.
That viewing went extremely well. Catherine's the one that wants to list, so Nigel will be listing.
Kirstie's never going to give me a village life. She can't move the house.
But she could give you a stunning house.
Back in Larne in 2018, Nigel and Catherine's debate over whether to love or list their rural 70s bungalow was raging on.
I have great faith in Phil.
Oh.
He's going to find us a house.
You've no chance.
And you're going to be moving.
No, certainly I'm not.
Nigel might have been deeply sceptical that I could tempt him away, but he had to eat his words with the second house I showed him.
It's a lovely looking house, it really is. You've done well, Phil.
But don't forget, Phil, they both loved my plans for the house. 3 weeks into the build, and it's already coming along brilliantly.
That's what I was hoping for. That is exactly what I was hoping for. It isn't a wow house. It's a wee house. But this is a wow room, and that is what we were hoping to achieve. And you can see it's spectacular.
The rest of the house is coming along nicely too.
Ooh, lucky daisy. This is a really nice big bedroom. This was the kitchen, and now it is going to be a bedroom. So, what are you feeling?
It is a bit of the wow factor now.
It is a bit of a wow factor, isn't it? It really is.
Worrying.
This is where the kitchen's going to go. That's where your dining area is.
Yep.
Yes.
So you're very much from here, you're not losing any of your sitting room.
No.
No.
Not a single inch.
No.
No.
All right.
In fact, you're gaining a little bit.
we are.
Because that's a sensational space, and the table will be great in there.
But I think it'll be a good socialising room too as well.
Oh, really
because
good.
where the kitchen was before, anybody came over.
No.
You're on your own in there,
Yeah.
and everybody else was in there having a good time. And
This is going to be a spectacular room. It's a real party room.
With some canny thinking, the guys are managing to make 35 grand go a long way. Upcycling the old kitchen door, reusing the wooden floor, and even selling the old kitchen units. They're really motoring along on this project.
Now, what are you going to paint it?
We think we're doing it like a really light grey, like a summer grey, I don't know.
If it were me, I'd go for the very, 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 very palest, the bluer greys.
Painting every wall the same will help to blend in the old garage space and make this feel like one big room. Relocating or extending is also really disruptive, but a new kitchen can add at least 4% to the value of your home. And it could mean creating a proper, open-plan family space that you will use. As the fantastic new kitchen diner takes shape, the family are all helping with the refurb. With everyone investing in the work, they'll be all the readier to love it.
Hold on, Kirstie. I've still got one last house to show them. I may not have convinced Nigel yet, but Team List It is about to pull out all the stops. 4 miles west of Larne, just outside the village of Kilwater.
So, from all you've told me,
Yeah.
I reckon
Oh, sorry.
a farm on the edge of a village with just a few neighbours
Yeah.
might kind of work.
Absolutely.
Farm, Nigel, you've always wanted a farm.
Well, OK, it's not really a farm, but with numerous outbuildings and 3/4 of an acre attached, it's certainly big enough for Nigel's beloved chickens and their baby chicks. Whilst the site could do with some landscaping, the house and land are all for sale for an incredible 200 grand. Only a year old, the house is made up of 4 huge bedrooms, several bright reception rooms, a lovely big kitchen, and it has the all-important neighbours for Catherine, but not too many to put Nigel off. A healthy middle ground.
Come on in.
Gosh, big hall.
Massive hallway. Not going to find a bigger one than this.
It's very big. Great job.
There are 2 massive bedrooms and a bathroom down there. There's 2 massive bedrooms and a bathroom upstairs.
Keep talking, Phil.
And the kitchen.
Lovely.
I actually think this house is quite a big opportunity. It's priced at £200,000. That's an awful lot of house and an awful lot of land.
Yeah.
For that kind of money. It needs TLC, it needs a bit of imagination and money spending on it. But actually, if this was at the top of its game, inside and out, this would be 230, 250, no problem.
So get a bargain.
You are getting a bargain.
How worried are you, Nigel?
Very worried.
And that's before he's seen the rest of the house.
Bedrooms are huge.
Brilliant.
There's 2 living rooms,
Thank you.
2 bathrooms, wood-burning stoves, massive hallway. Ha! This is going to get interesting.
What's through here? Oh, gosh, like a sunroom. Oh, my word.
This is an added bonus again, isn't it?
Catherine would get her wish to go upstairs to bed here.
Look at the size of this.
Look at that.
Is that an ensuite?
Yeah, the size of it.
Oh. It's lovely. What's not to like? Is there anything? There isn't anything not to like. You can't say
not a
there.
thing.
No.
I totally agree, but I've not finished. There's still the enormous garden to see.
Mature trees, swings.
And this is all your garden. This whole big plot.
piece.
So it's a big plot. Hence why I refer to it as a farm, because you've got the yard, you've got the field, you know.
Big, isn't it?
Plenty of room for chickens, even more chickens. Could have a
goat.
Sheep.
But for the money, you couldn't want for more.
Nigel, has it moved you towards Team List It?
It has definitely got me thinking. Definitely got me thinking. I never expected that for a moment. Not at all.
Catherine, have I done my job then?
You have. You saved the best to last. And Nigel, I can see he is definitely coming more to our side. Aren't you, Nigel? I think I'd buy this tomorrow.
I am very confused. This house is just completely blown out of the water. It's just something special. It really is.
So we're moving then?
Never thought I would say that.
It's getting close.
Much of this job is about listening, both to what people say as well as what they don't say. And my great sense was that in order to get Nigel to properly engage with the process, I was going to have to show him something with the wow factor outside. And it looks like I just did that.
There may be room for chickens galore here, Phil, but I wouldn't start counting them yet. Just 12 weeks since the work first started, the renovation was finished, and Phil and I were back in Larne to find out if Catherine and Nigel had come to a decision.
Well, what do they say about Northern Ireland weather?
Well, do you know what? I have heard that it can blow some in Northern Ireland. And you really go carefully, because this is, like, unbelievable.
I have a feeling it's not just the weather that will blow us away today, Phil.
Well, before we get to see your work, Kirstie, there's the pressing matter of my shoes and your hair.
Guys! Sorry, we did not expecting you. I'm so sorry. We just had it is absolutely insane. Come and have a little look.
Before I came to help, the cramped, disjointed rooms of this bungalow had been keeping the family apart. But unlocking the potential floor space in the adjoining garage was a real game changer. Knocking through to the old sitting room has created a vast, sociable space.
Voila! It really is voila, isn't it?
Now there's the extra room for a sleek new kitchen and a wonderful dining area that makes the most of the outlook that sets this house apart, even on a stormy day like today.
I love the fact that you've got the view, which you didn't have that view before, not at all.
Nothing. No. This is absolutely, obviously, appalling weather, but it feels so kind of cosy, and you're really able to enjoy dramatic weather.
Yeah.
And crucially, they can enjoy it now as family all together in a way they couldn't before.
Well, the kitchen before was tiny. It was at the back of the house, and the kids are here now, and I'm cooking, and sometimes the kids are here doing the homework, so it just feels more family orientated, doesn't it, straight away? Yeah, it's lovely.
Because we were sort of...
You were quite sort of disjointed before, and you couldn't all be in the same room.
Yeah.
And the fantastic transformation doesn't stop there. Relocating the kitchen left this room free to be turned into a much bigger double bedroom for daughter Daisy.
Very smart bedroom as well.
It doesn't feel though it's a compromise, does it?
No, it's double bedroom.
It kind of feels like it was always here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
We had done Daisy's room up, and we thought, well, we're not going to touch that room.
No.
We said, no, if you change that into a double bedroom, you have 4 double beds in, and that...
In terms of resale, I'm always thinking of you, Phil.
And therefore, Daisy's old single bedroom has been turned into a much bigger, stylish family bathroom.
Oh, it's a thing of joy, Phil. You've got to have a look at that.
This is all very, very smart.
By really going for it, Catherine and Nigel have gone 10 grand over their 35 grand budget. But the new valuation means that despite their overspend, they will pocket an extra £18,000 in any future sale.
So with the storm still battering against their lovely new windows, it's time for us to get down to the nitty-gritty.
I think you've changed everything that you could have changed, and it looks amazing. And actually now you can spend time together as a family. But of course, it's still a bungalow, it's still rural, and it still doesn't have any neighbours.
It does not feel like a bungalow here now. It's very elevated, though.
Yes.
It
feels
doesn't
like a high-end apartment or something.
Yeah.
On the other hand, Nigel never wanted to buy this house or move in, but moved in under some kind of duress and fairly quickly...
Loved it.
Loved it.
Yeah. It was a case of, I thought, there can't be anything out there. There can't be.
And then property number 3 happened. It had everything. It ticked every box. So we actually swapped sides, because as this started to form more homely, I suddenly could see that this was actually the potential was starting to work here. And then Nigel said, if we hadn't committed to doing the work here, he would have moved straight away, there and there.
Yeah.
I think that probably brings us to the point where we've got to ask that question, isn't it?
Catherine. Nigel. Are you going to love it?
Or list it?
We're going to... Together?
Yeah.
Go.
1, 2, 3.
Love it. Sorry, Phil.
No, that's OK. Perfectly understood. I don't blame you.
It's been blood, sweat and tears, and we've put our heart and soul into it, and it works as a family, and the view is just, it's very special.
Everyone's a winner here.
Yeah.
Everyone's a winner.
Really, it's Kirstie, though. I was team listed, but as this house started to take place, it suddenly made me realise this is actually becoming a home.
It's just amazing. I'm so happy.
Yeah,
so
we still
happy.
walk around thinking a bit disbelief that this is our home. Feels too nice for us.
While they were both blown away at the time, I'm eager to find out whether Catherine and Nigel continue to love their home once the dust had settled.
Look at your house!
Nigel and Catherine may have decided to love their spruced-up bungalow back in 2018, but their hard work didn't stop there.
So I'm back in Larne to see Nigel and Catherine. If you remember, they loved it. But the great thing about Larne, they can't leave it alone, and I'm longing to see what they've done.
And right from the off, I can see they've been busy. Since deciding to love it, Catherine and Nigel have invested £5,000 to have the whole exterior rendered. They spent most of lockdown painting the entire house, including the windows, resulting in this fresh, modern style, which drastically enhances the curb appeal of this 1970s bungalow.
Wow. Hello. I mean, excuse me while I squint.
I know.
Look at your house.
The impressive exterior makeover is finished off by new tiles leading up to the front door, replacing the old concrete slabs for £700. And out of the corner of my eye, I can see another new addition.
What is this?
That's our lovely hot tub area.
Hot tub area?
Yes, so you're looking out at the sea view.
Hot tub area?
With a glass of wine.
Well, things are clearly looking up.
I know, yes, absolutely.
Alongside the new hot tub area, which Nigel built himself for £800, they've also levelled off the ground and created an outdoor seating area overlooking the stunning view for £300. And out back, Nigel's beloved chickens have been spoiled with a fabulous new run, which he built himself for £200.
So have you done anything inside?
We have
Just
indeed.
a little.
Oh, can't wait.
Yes, after you. Oh, we've also got a new addition to the family.
Have you?
Yes, a little dog called Ziggy.
Oh!
Ziggy!
My plan to utilise the garage to create a fantastic open-plan living space was a huge success. And Catherine and Nigel have since redecorated to make the room feel even more homely.
Do you know what? You come in, it's always the same. You come in here and you just look out. It is stunning. The light, it's not just the view, it's the light. And that window is still one of the best things that anyone's ever done.
Oh, that was your idea as well.
Yeah, it was. There are houses all around the country that look like this. This is, for want of a better word, no insult to the
Normal
house.
bog standard
It's bog,
house.
that's what, that was
Yeah.
exactly what I was about to say.
Bog standard house.
Bog standard house. And yet look at this. We could be in California.
I wish we had that weather.
I mean, really, we could.
Yeah.
This is open plan, LA style living.
Yeah.
And all you've done is built above the garage.
Yes.
No, exactly.
And then this new blue.
Yeah.
When did you do this?
We lived with it for about 4 years, didn't we?
Yeah.
And then redecorated about
So
a
you've
couple of
just
weeks
done
ago.
this?
Yeah, just literally
Yeah.
a couple of weeks ago.
Very clever to do that white.
And the post, yes.
Yeah. So that your two pillars are white, your windows are white, you've got the white radiators, and it's so clean and bright.
I wasn't overly sure of it. I just thought this is going to be really... That it's going to be like a cave. But Catherine's going, trust me, it'll be fine, it'll be fine. And then she said, I'll tell you what, look, we'll pick out the pillars. And it has actually defined a living room and a kitchen now.
Yeah. This is like textbook how to do dark.
But my favourite new addition to this home is the one on 4 legs.
So this is Ziggy. Say hello, Zig.
He's beautiful. He's absolutely beautiful.
He
And
is a
Catherine,
good
it's so good to get a dog which matches the decor.
I know.
I know. Yeah. Look, he goes with a rug.
You don't even notice him when he's lying down.
He adds those little oatmeal tones. You know, that's what I say.
He's a boy because Nigel is surrounded by girls.
Girls,
So
yeah.
we had to have a son, didn't we, Nigel?
We did, yeah.
On the subject of the girls, can I go and have a look at the bedroom?
Of course you can, yeah.
Yes, let's
Yep,
go.
lead the way. Yep.
You coming, Ziggy? Oh, look, he's very good.
With the girls growing up quickly, the now more mature Daisy recently helped her parents redecorate her bedroom, which was once the old kitchen.
This just looks so fresh and grown up.
Oh.
You've got the organic theme with the wood and the green, you've got the macrame. This just looks great. Absolutely fantastic. I want to see the rest. Lead
Let's go.
Let's see more.
And more.
And through in what used to be the study, Nigel and Catherine have created a snug area for the girls to watch TV together in the evenings, away from their parents.
This is the girls' room, really. This is their wee snug where they sort of hang out.
They do, yeah, I suppose so. You know, like when we're watching different TV programmes, they'd come in here together, wouldn't they?
would, aye.
This is a conversation I had with a lot of people, and it was also a conversation that was going round and round my head in lockdown. Is open plan kitchen sitting rooms are absolutely brilliant, but if the only other reception space you have is actually bedrooms, which aren't receptions,
Yeah.
it's quite difficult.
Because they then hibernate in their bedrooms, they don't ever come out.
This is ideal. Right, let's go back and sit in front of that fire, and I want to know.
Nigel's sister's made a lovely cake as well. Again.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, you know me, I'm a sucker for a cake. After you two.
Right, guys.
With the alterations, plus decorating and furnishing, Nigel and Catherine have invested an additional £20,000 on top of the 45k they'd spent when we were last here. So I'm keen to find out what the house is now worth.
You bought it in 2016, so it was a mistake when you bought it.
Well, I always knew it was a good house, as in the views, but I really missed having neighbours, and there was always like the taxi service for the girls, and it was just, I think I instantly regretted it as a mum. I think we moved probably 5 years too early.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But I think with the work that we've done to it, it has made it a more family home for us.
Yes.
Definitely a home to be proud of, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
It is, yeah, we are. It is we're very, very, very happy here. Love it. Literally love it.
Yeah. But then the added bonus is you bought it for
165, yeah.
You spent about 65 on it all told.
Yeah.
Yes.
When Phil and I left in 2018, it was worth...
It was about 240-ish.
Yeah. So on top of what you spent.
Yeah.
And it was valued the other day for...
Do you want to say?
Yeah, you can go ahead, go on.
325, or offers over 325, from 325 to maybe 350.
Ooh.
Yes.
It's a sensational piece of property. Mm-hmm. And you got Phil in here and tried to look at other places to go.
I know, but I think even the whole process, though, it really gave us clarity, if nothing else, because we were in a bit of a stalemate because we'd been here for 2 years and done nothing with it. And I think if you and Phil hadn't turned up, we probably would still have the kitchen at the back of the house. I think what's really helped with us is we've always had a really strong bond, me and Nigel, but I think we had this primary goal to make this as best it could possibly be. And I think we've achieved that.
Absolutely, definitely.
You've achieved it. You've been rewarded for that, you know, by what you've added to the value. And we still haven't finished.
No.
Rumour has it there's great plans for this plot.
Yes, garage, summer house, something like that.
Yeah, definitely.
We always did talk about that top corner.
Yes, we did.
So I think we should go out and see what I'm going to see when I next come back here.
Oh, yes, please do. It's full of compliments, so you can come anytime.
While I'm thrilled to see that Catherine and Nigel have continued to make this house their own, I still think there's more they can do to make the most of this stunning outlook. Granted, the Northern Irish weather doesn't allow for outdoor living all year round, but garden buildings can be a fantastic way to add additional living space and enable you to use your garden whatever the weather. So before I shoot off, I'm taking them to visit a garden house specialist near Belfast.
But the thing is, you're not after anything this big, are you?
No.
No, and I don't think a garden would take it. It would probably take away from the house then.
No.
Garden buildings have come a long way since the traditional shed. These days, you can spend upwards of £20,000 on creating a fully insulated room with electricity and even plumbing. With more of us living and working from home now, 20% of people say they're looking to add more space, and garden rooms are one of the most cost-effective ways of doing that. I don't think Catherine and Nigel should take up too much space in the garden, so a full-sized garden room would be too much for them. But a smaller summer house would give them the option to entertain and enjoy the garden all year round.
So this is a summer house.
Yeah.
Which is cheaper, basically. It is only just over £4,000, whereas the garden houses are quite a bit more.
Yeah, probably double.
But I think this is nice. I mean, this is...
To be honest, this is a lovely size.
Imagine that we were looking at the sea view.
That's right there.
I mean, the size of this window.
Right, now, get your chequebook out, sold.
Yes. I am going to leave you two here. I'm so impressed by everything you've done.
Oh.
This means that, you know what, if you get a shed, I can come back again.
Well, yeah, you can have the pull-out sofa.
Oh,
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.
Bye.
See you soon.
I'm over the moon that Team Love It won, because it has just been... It's what I wanted from the very start, but the finished article now, we just love it, don't we?
Yeah, we do. We love it, yeah. Best decision.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Northern Ireland is full of extraordinary views. I've got Belfast just behind me and the dockyard. But still, one of the best I've seen is Catherine. and Nigel's. I hope they do find a summer house, and I hope they manage to put it in that beautiful spot, perfect for work and play. I continue to be full of admiration for the time, energy and effort they put into their home. And as we've seen, the figures speak for themselves.
Next week, I revisit a couple from one of our quirkiest properties to date.
We're in a cemetery.
Well, this isn't what I was expecting.
And whilst they originally decided to move to a more rural setting,
Going to list it.
there's a somewhat different view out of the window these days.
Cái tiền đây này. 哈。